The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
What day is it today?
It's Wednesday.
About halfway there.
Where?
Till the weekend.
Hey, a little fun fact about the Olympics. Did you want to hear this? This is actually a historic fact. In ancient Greece, did you know that all Olympic athletes competed in the nude? And to honor that tradition, that's how I plan on watching the Olympics.
Personally, as a fan of sports, I think PDs should be legalised so at least we can keep tabs on it. But I think they need parameters to make it more interesting to us viewers. Performance-enhancing drugs should only be used in team sports and only on one player. And that player can only be used for 5 minutes at a time. You can't tell me there isn't a sport on the face of the planet that wouldn't be better if you knew at any point in time the coach could just go, yeah, f*** it, release Mongo. And then this wildebeest comes charging out.
It's showtime!
All right, let's go ahead with this, I guess. It's 5:42. We welcome you to the show. Wednesday morning. We've got one day to try and work something out here. Just one day. Snuck up on me. I thought we had till Friday, but I guess it's tomorrow. We got to help Josh out. He and I talked briefly about this yesterday. His ungrateful wife is leaving town tomorrow. She's going to be gone smooth through the weekend. And as usual, Cubby doesn't know what to do with himself without the wife there controlling his every move. He has all this time to himself coming up, starting tomorrow. And right, Josh, you're not sure what to do with all that time.
No, how long can a person live without food? Because without my wife, I don't know how to eat.
I think like a week, so you should be good.
I think
so
you
I'll
got
be all right.
7 days.
I'll just be starving by Monday, pretty much.
Just
You'll
make sure
lose
you
40
drink,
pounds.
Yeah, make sure you drink a bunch of water at least.
Yeah.
Water? Will you text and remind me?
Yes, I can do
Every
that.
hour?
Yeah,
How much did you drink?
If you wouldn't mind just reminding me. I need my wife's help on that. She doesn't go out of town very often. Once every few years. I go out of town even less than that.
What's the story this time around? What's the excuse this time to get that she's leaving?
Well, it was described to me as a girls' trip. Her and my sister-in-law are very close, my brother's wife, and so they're going to Colorado. But it's strange to me that all of a sudden Dana says, oh, I'm also going to Colorado the exact same time my wife is.
No comment.
So Dana and my wife are obviously having an affair.
Yeah, it's pretty sus.
Let me tell you something. I could have 10 wives, and I'd never suspect Dana.
Well, I didn't until he told. Are you still going, Dana? I know that was kind of.
Yeah, no, we're still going.
All right, so Dana's gone tomorrow and Friday on a sex vacation in Colorado with my wife.
Not just your wife, your sister-in-law, too.
Oh, I didn't even consider something. I just assumed that was a ruse.
I could catch my wife having sex with Dana, and I still wouldn't be worried about Dana.
Yeah, you know what? That is true. I don't feel threatened.
Right.
I just know they're having an affair now.
You're almost more worried, like, something must be wrong. Is what's happening?
And I think there's a very good chance, Dana, while having sex with my wife, you're going to pass out and die from the elevation.
That is a good point, yeah.
That you're not going to be able to handle that extra stress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Josh, this is always fun for us. And like you said, it doesn't happen very often. You don't get much free time. You never have your entire life. You've never been the kind of guy that has a lot of free time, and what I mean by that is time alone. And, of course, there's all kinds of jack-off jokes and whatnot that we could that's too easy, though. The number one option, if I were you, I would have sex with a woman or two.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, unlike my wife, who I just learned is not committed to me, I'm very committed to her. That's not going to happen. And I should mention, I do have my youngest son with me.
No, he can come over and stay at his godfather's house.
Oh, you'd have him over?
Yeah,
He'd
why
love
not?
that.
Why not?
He'd absolutely.
I got a room with a lock on it.
You've always got to. No, okay, now I'm not so sure that's the way I want to go. But yeah, you always have a gift for him or something when you see him. So he loves seeing his godfather. Mm-hmm. So we have a deep connection. Go ahead. I did have. You guys remember I tried to rent a cool car not too long ago. The dude bailed on me last second. That really sucked.
I felt so bad for you.
So I've tried a different app today, thanks to the Brotherhood who let me know about this other app. So I rented a cool car for the weekend, and I get a text from my son's best friend happens to be a buddy of mine, and that's kind of how my son and his kid became friends, right? So he texts me. He's like, "Hey, dude, I heard you're a bachelor this weekend. We should get the boys together." And I was like, hey, that'd be fun, all of us hanging out, right? So 2 dads and 2 kids. Well, that's what you would think with that statement, correct? He's like, awesome. I'll drop my son off Friday, and I'll just pick him up after work, maybe, 5 p.m. on Saturday? What? I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, bro. That's not how it happens.
It's probably because I'm young, but I immediately thought he just wanted to hang out with his homie.
Well, that's what I thought, too.
Yeah.
I thought he meant, like, you and me and the boys, we could go do something. Instead, he wants it to be what? He said, yeah, I'll just drop him off on Friday, and then I'll pick him up Saturday after work. So instead, he worked out a sleepover with me with my son and his son at my house.
So you're babysitting now during your time away from the wife.
You're like, wait, man.
No, that's not cool.
That's so weird. What a weird way to put that. I love that.
Yeah, I got suckered into that.
Yeah, you got conned, man.
Now, luckily, he's my son's favorite friend. I love having him over, and we don't get to see him enough. But at the same time, I thought, that's a pretty good bit.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't even know you could invite your kid over to somebody else's house.
You'd never consider cheating on the wife?
No, not at all.
All right, fine. And I imagine...
I'd tell you if I would.
I know you would.
And I'd be dumb enough to say it on the show because we're all friends and I'd share that, but I would be dumb enough to bring that up.
That brings up a story. A few years ago, me and a circle of pals were hanging out at our neighborhood bar, and someone had cheated on their wife or something, so we got into that conversation. There was some drama going around. Someone had cheated on their wife, so... that was the, hey, man, did you hear about Donnie? Yeah, he cheated on his wife, this and that. Maybe you had to be there. But one of my oldest pals said the obvious. He said, you know what? If I ever do cheat on my wife, the last thing I'm going to do is tell you friggin' idiots about it. And I said, I don't blame you, man. It would not be a safe secret. Okay, kind of like the cheating idea. That was the first thought that I had. For what Josh should do with his free 3-4 days away from the wife. Let me just sound off here, Josh, on some different activities that could keep you busy with the wife out of town. I doubt you're going to go for a lot of this, but these are just some ideas I had. Binge drinking.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Okay.
Again, I also have somebody else's kid staying at the house, which was unbeknownst to me until yesterday.
That's really happening now?
Yeah.
All right,
so one day is gone.
Well, no, wait a minute.
That's 2 days.
Yeah,
it's
Friday to Saturday.
All day Friday, and then most of the day Saturday.
Oh, that sucks. But wait a minute. You can still binge drink with children in the house. I mean, my folks did it.
Well, I don't think that's for me.
All right,
I'm
fine.
not a drinker anyway.
I know you're not, but I'm just taking a chance here that maybe you'd try some of these things. Just try drug abuse.
No, stay away from that.
See if cocaine can keep you awake until your wife comes home from her girls' trip.
That also sounds dangerous.
That would be crazy.
And I wouldn't even know the first place where I could go to get cocaine. I guess I'd go to Wapple.
I could probably help you out.
I was trying to think. It's funny. I was having a conversation about that the other day about nefarious hookups. Me and a buddy were talking about what we think we could get, from all the way from marijuana to something to make a nuclear weapon, right? Who we know, like a connection.
That's a good one.
That has just that you think has connections to get you some crazy stuff. And with drugs, Wapple, I thought of you right away.
Yeah, well, one of my buddies works for SpaceX, so I might have a hookup on plutonium, too.
All right.
A lot of people saying porn. I'm not into porn.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be completely lame here, but I did have, my wife, she's said, hey, why don't you take them to, there's a particular go-kart track. I hadn't heard of it. I think Cokato is where it was. And it looked awesome. Absolutely awesome. And so I was looking at the website, but you got to be 14.
You were going to go to
that's lame.
What kind of a fake ID? What kind of a track?
Wapple, I need a hookup. Go-kart track.
You were going to go to a go-kart track.
Yeah, so I'm glad I looked at the website because she sent this to me, and I thought, well, if she sent this must be good to go. But yeah, you got to be 14.
Your son's just sitting there in the bleachers watching you go round and round on the go-karts.
Dad have a blast.
Yeah, you're acting like a 14-year-old would act on a go-kart. It's having the time of your life, and your son's just sitting there having a tray of nachos. Like, this sucks.
What about smoking cigarettes?
Nah, not going to do that. My dad passed away from that. So
I know it's douchey. What about cigars?
Nope, not going to do that either. And I'm sorry to shoot all these down. I know you probably worked on this. And
No. Like I said before I got started, I doubted that you would be interested in any of this stuff. But again, just taking a shot. What do they say? Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
Okay. Ooh, this is a great idea. Yeah, you're not going to be drinking, doing drugs, smoking, this or that, banging side action. But there's still... I like this one. Go through all of your wife's personal stuff.
Fun.
You know what I'm saying? Snoop through all of her personal stuff. You never know. You might find something out to be really friggin' interesting.
That's exciting.
Speaking of interesting, that's funny you say that because between the two, I keep no secrets from her, right? I keep absolutely nothing. I just can't keep a secret. And I don't really have much going on. But sometimes I do wonder... she'll keep things from me. Weird stuff. Like
what?
Like she hit the garage, right, with her vehicle.
Oh.
And didn't say a word to me, right?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't tell my boyfriend either.
It's not like I freak out on her or anything, but yeah, she just did not. I think she was embarrassed or something. And so there's always like little things that she'll keep from me, like or someplace she's going that's a last second. I didn't realize she even knew this particular person. Or she was involved in this particular activity.
You got to go through her stuff. This sounds interesting.
But she's a slob. And you know what? It's like gross. Her stuff is all gross.
Well, yeah, you've mentioned that before. I mean, put on some rubber gloves. She's got to have storage bins in the basement of personal stuff that's not, on display. That might find something shady in there.
Possibly. But I'm the one that organizes all that stuff, so I think I'd see something.
How about rearrange the house to where when she comes back from her girls' trip, you've got your own bedroom?
Oh my gosh, you should move stuff around. That would throw me off if I came
She walks
home.
in with her suitcase, and she walks into what, when she left, was the two of yours bedroom, and it's now become just Josh. Her room is downstairs. No, I rearranged the house. We've got separate bedrooms.
I'd have to buy some furniture. It weirds people out. We don't have very much furniture. So I'd have to, maybe that's the thing. I'll completely furnish the house. Right, and I'll just have one area that she's allowed to go in.
And have it be all stuff you found on like the side of the road with a free sign on it. Like, nothing nice.
Move your mother in?
Oh, that's never going to happen. I love my mom, but yeah, she mentioned that before. We should just get a place together. I'm like, I love you, but that's never going to happen. Never.
No.
Move your mother in while your wife's out of town.
I will pay for whatever facility she needs to be in. The nicest place I can afford. But yeah, people are recommending something called restaurants so I don't starve to death. But here's the truth, and I'm embarrassed to say this. I'm too lazy to go pick up food or go to a restaurant. When I get home, that's kind of it for me.
DoorDash, baby.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that.
Yep.
Me and the friggin' wife, we don't sleep in the same room.
Is that because you snore?
Because we just have absolutely opposite sleep habits and sleep schedules.
Wow,
And
I'm heartless. I don't care at all.
You don't?
No, my fiance are the same way as Nick and his wife.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
I thought for you, Dana, it's because you slept nude and she's repulsed by your body.
Well, shoot, now that I think about it.
What do you, Ashley, what were you referencing when you said you're heartless, you don't care at all? What do you mean?
Because me and my boyfriend sleep in the same bed, and I say goodbye to him every single morning, so essentially I wake him up.
You wake him up to say goodbye?
He gets mad if I don't. So.
Oh,
You know, my wife used to as well. She would get, now she was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and then, once our youngest got a little older, she got a full-time gig, and now, so it's different now. Now she wants to sleep in. But yeah, if I didn't wake her up to say goodbye, it did bother her. She got kind of mad about it.
People are weird like that. People are needy.
It's endearing.
And they're clingy like that. Yeah, I got my own room still. King-size bed, son.
Oh, I was just talking about that yesterday. Our bed is falling apart to the point where it's dangerous. So we were just we haven't got a new bed in 20 years, and we were bed shopping over the weekend. But I felt so silly because I had to make sure the bed would hold 600 pounds because my wife wants the dogs to sleep with us.
Come on, you can't have two Great Danes sleeping in the bed with you.
I know. I tried to...
Even a king-size bed isn't big enough for that.
Well, right now we're making it work in a queen-size bed, but
no,
it's uncomfortable.
Come on, you really have two Great Danes sleeping in the bed with you and the wife?
We do, yeah.
Are you just curled up in a ball? How do you even stretch out?
Basically.
Oh,
that's just stupid. Speaking of the bed, while your wife is gone over the next few days, starting tomorrow, go back to wetting the bed.
What do you mean by go back?
You were like Hennepin County's greatest bedwetter back in the day. Go back to...
Oh, yeah. Nobody has, before me or after me, ever wet the bed as much in Minneapolis as I did growing up.
Didn't you have a couple in one night once?
Oh, I would have a triple.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, because my brother, my cousin, and I shared a room until my cousin was, I think maybe until he went to Mankato for college. So we shared a room, and yeah, I'd wet my bed, and then I would just go in the order of the way the beds were, clockwise. I'd start in mine, and then I'd go to my brother's. I'd wet his bed. I'd go to my cousin's, and I would say 80% chance I'd wet his bed.
Too bad there wasn't a fourth so you could hit for the cycle.
But it'd be one of those things, too, where by the time I got to my cousin's bed, he's punching me in the face, pushing me out of his bed.
He knows why you're there.
Yeah. My brother was pretty cool about it.
What about topless house cleaners? These are some suggestions from our listeners. Josh, while your wife is out of town, topless house cleaners, order a massage.
What do you think about this? So my stepdaughter, she's moving here pretty soon. Her lease is up, and her and a couple friends are getting a house. I thought about, because she joked about...
When you say moving here, what do you mean?
Moving here pretty soon. Not here as in a location, just in a colloquialism.
Moving in general.
Yeah, moving in general.
Oh, I see. They're moving.
Yeah. So she's moving with a couple friends, and last time she moved, she joked that she wanted, speaking of shirtless, that's what reminded me, the shirtless movers, right? College hunks or, one of those types of things.
Right.
And she was pretty serious about it. And, I just decided that, it's silly. We'll move you and I'll take my shirt off if that's what you guys want. So I was thinking this time of legitimately doing it.
Do it.
Hiring for her.
Yeah.
Hiring the how did you call them again? The hunky.
I don't know if it's college hunks or shirtless mover.
Right.
It's one of those. We had them in studio once. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
One of those. I don't know if that's the same one, but
so as a gift to your stepdaughter.
Like here you go. Because on the day she's moving, it's like the busiest day of the summer for me, so it'd be difficult. But yeah, I thought.
Well, why not? It might be fun and funny, and
I thought you make good way to meet the neighbors.
She's grown now. She can handle it.
Wapple could use a side gig, maybe.
Ooh, yeah. Sure. I just wouldn't look so good, but I got baby oil.
Do you really?
The pasty Wapple lifting the smallest box.
Yeah, I was going to say, not even be able to lift the couch or anything. You're just there for looks.
All right, turns out I was wrong. Eastbound at sundown, Jesus. I had mentioned that nobody has ever wet the bed as much as me in Minneapolis, and he said that's incorrect. The Vikings wet the bed much more often than you do.
Well, that might be a cute little gift for your stepdaughter.
Yeah,
to hire the hunky movers, or as you said, I mean, you and I could do it. I'd go shirtless for your stepdaughter. and then you said you'd remove you'd do the same gimmick. It'd be like when Peter Griffin danced at Meg's birthday party.
That was so good.
I hated that.
Remember when her glasses came off?
Oh, yeah.
That was messed
One of the
up,
greatest
man.
scenes in television history when Peter stripped for his own daughter's birthday.
David said, just get a bunch of dads with dad bods to help move. That'd be pretty funny, too.
Dad bod movers.
I think you and I think we're looking better than average for our age with our shirts off. Josh, I think we'd give the young gals a thrill. Here's my prediction with all this jaw-jacking. And we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying to find. Maybe there'll be something that Josh will take an interest in. Maybe a new hobby or something that you'll take an interest in while your wife's out of town. But my prediction is, I bet you'll watch a scary movie without the wife there, and you'll sleep with the lights on and whatnot.
Well, it's funny you say that because you'll
be all worried without her there.
One of the last times she was gone, she went to Baltimore to visit actually my youngest, his godmother. And so she goes to Baltimore to visit them, and she's gone for the weekend. And I told you this before, but at the house we were renting at the time, there were some woods in the back by where the living room windows were where I was watching TV.
The cabin in the woods.
Yeah, essentially. And I watched the movie The Fourth Kind, that alien movie.
Oh, no.
And I never really get affected by this kind of thing, but for whatever reason, I had the heebie-jeebies that night, and I ran up the stairs to go to bed. That movie's one of the only movies I remember that kind of was like, something like that.
You'll watch a horror movie, you'll immediately regret it. You'll check the locks on the doors 5-6 times. You'll leave a light on, and still every sound will make you jump out of your skin. That's my first prediction on how things will really play out for you.
Well, I know it won't just because my house is always so noisy. Between the kid always has friends over, and then the dogs are always making noise. And I don't know, like, it's been a while since we've had another kind of dog, but the Great Danes, they have these big floppy ears, and they always shake their heads, and it's so freaking loud, their ears flapping on their heads, that it wakes you up.
Oh, I got a new idea. While your wife's out of town, sell the house.
Dude. You're just gone.
Because you hate that house. The only reason you're in that friggin' house is the wife won't let it go, because that house is garbage.
Yeah, I know. It falls apart. There's always something. Now I need a water heater. It's insane.
Oh, my God.
It looks nice from the outside. His house is a disaster.
It's like the movie Money Pit.
You have the worst luck with this kind of stuff.
I know.
Put the friggin' joint up for sale while the wife's out of town, and when she gets out of the cab or whatever, like in the movies, I guess she doesn't need to take a cab home. But when she comes home, you say, "Look, deal with it. We're getting the hell out of this nightmare."
Somebody says, "What if you see a spider?" Yeah, that's not good.
That's gonna be trouble.
Luckily, one of my dogs eats bugs. I'm so close to this dog for that reason. He'll eat bugs. He takes care of that for me.
I got to go back to this ridiculous scenario where two adults are sleeping in a queen-size bed with two friggin' Great Danes. You ever wake up with Great Dane penis on your leg or anything like that?
All right,
That's
so
just stupid. Put them on the floor.
You're preaching today because we got a new dog last week, and he's great. He's awesome. So now we have Rocky and Apollo. Just like out of the movies.
So cool.
Great Dane bag on your back as you're trying to sleep.
I'm not trying to be gross, but I need to get this off my chest. Oh, no. So our new dog, Apollo, he's got the biggest penis I've ever seen. All right?
Ever seen, he says.
And it's the only dog I've ever had that wasn't yet neutered. So he's...
Oh, no. Dude, I understand what you're saying. My dog that's not neutered basically took my boyfriend's breath away. He was upset for like a week because of the size difference.
So, Cubby, that's not a pink crayon. That's like a pink baseball bat.
Oh, dude, it's so gross, and he gets boners all the time.
All right.
And the balls are so big, I can't live with it.
Stop this.
We got to get those balls removed.
Well, wait a minute. This dog is like 3 years old.
I know the previous owners,
You can't debag a 3-year-old dog.
Well, the rescue said you have to. They said, hey, this is part of the deal. You got to.
Yeah, you can do it
you
at
have
3 years or
to?
4 years old, too.
Oh, see, I've heard that's a bad idea. I've heard some horror stories.
Why?
I've heard worse from not getting it done.
Well, yeah, there's bad. We don't, like it's a veterinarian special here all of a sudden on the show. I've heard bad about both, but I think Personally, once a male dog hits about 3, just let her buck. At that point, it's too late. But that's just the way I was raised.
Josh, has he ever been like fully at attention yet? Like almost all the way there?
Well, I don't know how big.
Let's not do this.
Okay, I just because
Why do you ask?
Because
Her
my
boyfriend wants to know?
dog has been, and it's over 12 inches.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like touching the floor.
You measured it?
It was
Enough.
the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Enough.
What have you done?
You don't come back from that, man.
This person says Danes are not supposed to be neutered until 2 years of age. They grow until 3 years old. Is just fine to neuter. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
The rescue, they're a Great Dane rescue. Well, I think they are. They had, I don't know, my wife did it, but they said you got to. That's part of the deal.
All right. Well, yeah, you're on your own on this one.
I mean, dude.
Oh, God.
It's so gross. And everybody that's come over comments on it.
Oh, how do you not?
My God.
You got to acknowledge that elephant in the room.
I agree with what Porcelain Punisher Jesus just said. What the hell?
What is he? What the helling? Just our general dog penis conversation.
I think how detailed Ashley got there.
Yeah, she's
I've been wanting to get this off my chest.
she's struggling over there. She's struggling. All right, for cripe's sake. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't read this text, but somebody's mentioning some of the side effects of a dog not being neutered, and I am terrified that's going to happen.
Oh, no.
Just terrified.
There's good and there's bad on both sides.
I see the text message you're talking about. That looks mostly bad.
Hoo-wee!
Oh, for the love of Christ, what's going on today is Wednesday, so we'll get Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver on the line about 7:30, and we've got, like I said, we got another day to try to help Josh out as he's staring down the barrel of a weekend without the wife. More than a weekend. Thursday through Sunday?
Yeah, Thursday through Sunday.
You ought to get something done.
Going out with Dana on a romantic trip to Colorado.
It's going to be lovely.
You ought to get something done while she gone.
I appreciate there's a lot of people texting in good places to go. Like, that'd be kind of fun for me and my son, and that'd be fun. I can meet up with a few people here, it sounds like.
Can't you make your kid stay somewhere else for a few days?
I suppose I could. I
Just
mean,
pawn him off on someone else.
Yeah, you take the kid that was pawned off on you and then repawn them somewhere.
like I'm subletting a kid.
Yeah.
I'd be way more excited for you if you were all alone, So do that for me. Do me a favor.
If I'm all alone, though, I have meals over the sink.
I was just
so what?
Say that.
I don't know what to do sometimes.
That was the funniest time when you were home alone completely by yourself. I remember that vividly, you saying that you were just eating a sandwich in your boxers above the sink.
Yep.
You had no idea what to do.
Well, there was no clean dishes. I'll just eat right above so all the crumbs can just fall in the sink.
Well, you ought to get something done regardless while you got these 4 days off. But for now, we got to take a break. Get the stupid news coming up in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Let's get into season 4, episode 21, Forever.
Is there a button we can hit that just skip?
I know. What I'm surprised about, and I don't think there's anything he could have done, but James Marshall directed this, and he's directed so many great episodes.
It's collecting the paycheck.
This would have been an epic episode if somehow it was Lex Luthor's high school experience at graduation.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right. You're a great crowd. Appreciate you listening. About time we dive headlong into today's stupid news report, and we're going to start with a story of some buck wild times behind the wheel. Buck wild times while driving a motor vehicle. Coming out of India. Don't you know? India. Now, from what I can understand here, there was a car accident. And you can chalk this one up to a couple, three of the likely causes when it comes to car wrecks these days. No matter where you are, India, no matter where you're at. Drunk and distracted driving came into play here, and speeding.
Those are the ones you hear about for sure.
Absolutely, Josh. Now, I don't know if Dale Earnhardt Jr. could have kept this car on the road. It says here, the driver dude and his best bro were drunk, and they were speeding, and they were having a threesome with a lady, and there were 4 screaming children in the car as well.
Jesus.
And all of that mayhem and awesomeness caused the driver to blast the vehicle into a median.
I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but I'm still not convinced that was the cause of the crash. It really could have been anything.
You would investigate further?
Yeah, I would. Maybe a malfunction of the vehicle.
Yeah, maybe they didn't got recalled and they hadn't brought it back into the shop yet.
What the hell are they doing?
The driver's drunk. He's driving too fast. He and his bro are banging some gal. And there's a bunch of kids in the car.
I didn't even know you could do that, have a threesome in a vehicle.
I didn't either.
Especially while driving. I know, Ashley, you've, girls, had sex with somebody while driving. Nasty. But as far as, like, having a threesome, I don't even know how you would do something like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I think it's...
Dana...
I don't think it's as difficult as you're imagining.
Describe it to me.
Well, here's...
In your mind, what's happening?
What came to mind was, driver man sitting in the driver's seat.
Okay.
You following it so far?
Gotcha.
His bro is sitting in the passenger seat. Hot lady maybe sitting on the passenger's lap and ducked over to the left to deliver some noggin to the driver.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd have to be flexible.
And I don't know exactly what they mean by children here. When I hear children, I think 4 or 5-year-old kids. But, of course, it also could mean 17-year-olds. So I don't know the age of the kids who were riding along with this freak show. The story also doesn't mention if these children belonged to the threesome lady or not. I sure hope not.
That'd be a tough thing to come back from.
Mom being mom.
Classic. Mom, remember that time?
Now, after the car came to a stop, they smashed into a median. Police and whatnot, they found bottles of hooch in the car. The 2 dudes were absolutely ass naked. The threesome lady was half to 3/4 naked. The cops found what they call here, quote, other objectionable materials in the car. I bet that means dildos. The threesome lady and the children got hurt in the crash, and they were sent off to the hospital. I don't know why, but when I read other objectionable materials, first thought I had was dildos. I could be wrong. There's a first time for everything.
They would have specified it was drugs or something like that.
And you know what I found out when watching the video of the aftermath of the crash?
Dang, I got excited for a second.
So after the car crashed and came to a stop, there's video. So you got the naked dudes and the kids and the booze and the threesome lady and all that. It appeared to me, Josh, that it's custom in India that when a car accident happens, if you witnessed a crash or if you're within a mile of the accident scene, you are required to go there on foot, and then the goal is to cram as many people as possible up against the car that just crashed.
Well, there's so many people in India. I was thinking that too. I'm like, did they call people to bring them in? But the population is so, there's so many people that live there. Maybe that's just it. There are always that many people around.
But what was so strange was, did you notice how many people were pressed up against the car? It was
everybody wanted to take a photo or a video with their phone.
Check this video out. It's unbelievable how many people are surrounding the car, but also basically pressing them. I don't know. You have to see it. It's one of the
dudes in the threesome looked terrified. I think he thought maybe the mob was going to tear him apart.
This was one of the weirdest videos I've seen all week. It was like something out of Beatlemania, like with the way teenage girls used to chase the Beatles just to get anyway. So that happened. Everything that I just said happened.
I can say I don't think I'll ever be in that situation.
No, not anymore. You won't.
No,
the wife's out of town this weekend. Don't rule it out.
Yeah, I just know if I don't. If that's your thing, great. But devil's threesome doesn't appeal to me.
Dana, it's Josh. We're ruling it out. Yeah. But she might die one day.
Thank you for that. But I guess that is a part of life. Sure. Yes, people do die. Yeah, I'm still not interested. I don't know if a buddy's like, I got this great idea. Let's get some kids to witness what we're about to do. We're going to get drunk, and we're going to bring in a girl, and the two of us are going to share her.
And we're going to have some objectionable materials in the car.
What's the deal with the kids? Yeah, I got to know more about that. Whose kids were these? How old were they?
That's the worst part. I mean, it's all bad.
Why are you acting that way in front of kids?
And you don't need to do it in a car. I mean, you could do it in a car that's parked without people around. That's one thing. But yeah, the driving and actually having sex, that scares me.
Very dangerous. One of my buddies talks about how close he came to death while having sex. He was driving, gal jumps up on top of him. Oh, yay, that's so hot. It's like we're in a movie, right? And all that is true. But then when you lose control of the car and come inches away from death, just wait till you get to the hotel, for Christ's sake.
It seems like it's never safe, right? But it seems like there are other sex acts which would be a lot safer.
Right.
A lot safer.
All right.
And it's one of them we get every time there's a trooper in, people say, roadhead. Is that legal?
Right.
Is that allowed?
All right. The Barbie movie came out last summer. Everybody fell down and wet themselves for the Barbie movie. I didn't think the hype around that effing movie was ever going to go away. It was a tough one to shake. Says here now, the popularity of that Barbie movie last summer, quote, may have spurred a new interest in groinecology, the stirrups and the speculum and the whole works. So if you didn't know, and I hope you don't, the movie ends with Barbie leaving Barbie Land to go ahead and enter the real world as a real live woman. The final scene shows Barbie checking in for an exam at a gynecologist's office. That's what the story here is telling me.
I would have loved to see the gynecologist's face when he realized she has no private parts. I know this for a fact. As a young man, I may have disrobed Barbie to see what one looked like, and I was very disappointed.
So Barbie checks in for an exam at a gynecologist's office. That's how the movie closes out. And I guess that's all it took for some folks. They thought to themselves, well, I'd like to look under Margot Robbie's hood. I think I'll do that for a living. Online searches in the States here for gynecologist rose around 51% in the week following Barbie's movie release. Some other folks looked up, what is a gynecologist? So what I got a kick out of when I read that part of the story, people who looked up what is a gynecologist, so those people had to get on Google so they could understand the final punchline in the movie. That must have been frustrating. The last line of the movie, from what I'm told, is Margot Robbie saying, I'm here to see a gynecologist. And there were some watching the movie who didn't know what a they had no idea what that statement meant.
Had to have been kids.
Talk about being left out in the cold.
Yeah. I've had to look up jokes before, where somebody will tell a joke and be like,
that was good.
Oh, man, nice. And then I have to Google it and go, oh, that was really funny. I wish I would have got it in the moment.
Also, the searches online for gynecology after the Barbie movie became a hit. That might mean that Barbie inspired more ladies to have a professional check their cargo down there, which is good. We were just talking a few days ago about movies creating trends in real life. I guess this could be another example.
Yeah, that's a good trend.
The Barbie movie. I mean, Also, on a side note, when television show host Katie Couric live streamed her colonoscopy, there was a 21% increase in folks signing up for colonoscopies. Josh and I talked openly on this radio show about colonoscopies a year or so ago, and I think we inspired a few of you to get cornholed too.
I hope so. If you hadn't heard us talk about it, it was way, way easier than we thought. I canceled so many of those things. I dreaded it. I remember in my 30s when they said, hey, when you turn 50, you got to get one of these. I was terrified. And then now it's 45. I think they lowered the number to... And I have to go back next year. I'm not worried about it at all. It terrified me forever.
You're actually looking forward to it.
I am. I asked if I could come back every month, and he said no. And then he referred me to a different butt guy.
Wait a minute. What? You got to go back when?
I have to go every 3 years because they found some polyps.
Oh, polyps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what they told me. I remember that they told me that my colon was gorgeous, but I don't remember if they said, hey, we'll see you in 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. I can't recall. I'm sure I'll get an email or something.
I wasn't even put all the way out. So, whatever they give you, I just didn't care what was going on. It wasn't bad at all. Even the prep. No. Everyone's like, oh, the prep, you're never going to get over. Even the prep wasn't bad.
The worst part is just you can't eat.
Yes.
That's the worst part.
Okay, that's true. You can get by that, too, because you're so afraid of destroying your pants that maybe you go, well, if I eat less. And also, my fear was, because they tell you, if there's anything left in there and we go up there and see something, you got to come back. So I followed it to the letter.
The worst part is not eating. Other than that, it's a lot of hype. It's really not that bad. The not eating, there are ways around that. In a sense, I ate more Jell-O the night leading up to my colonoscopy than a school district full of kindergartners ate. That was all I could eat was Jell-O, but not red Jell-O. You can't eat red because then they'll think it's blood.
Yeah, I was...
And they'll think you have a shattered tumor in your colon or something, and they'll put you to sleep.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. It was absolutely fine, and I was very scared. And I didn't like people said, "Oh, you got to fart in front of a nurse before they let you out of there." Didn't have to do that either, thankfully.
You did it anyway, though, right?
No.
That makes me feel better.
Randy
Josh,
Shaver was the one who told us that horror story. Randy Shaver told us some farting horror story. What's that now, Ashley?
That made me feel a lot better about the thought of me having to get one of those eventually, Josh, because that's the one thing I don't think I'd be able to do.
Shaver was the one who said he just unleashed this ungodly fart, and he also said they wouldn't let him leave the office until he farted.
Maybe some places make you do that, but where I was at, they just trusted me.
Yeah, but Shaver loves fart humor, though.
He does.
He does, and I think maybe he might have been playing with us, because at any rate, so Barbie inspired women to go to the gynecologist's office, or people to look into becoming gynecologists. Josh and I and Katie Couric inspired folks to get colonoscopies. We famous celebrities have a way of inspiring less important people.
What are you doing? That's funny, though, that she live streamed it. I can't imagine thinking, you know what, I bet there's going to be an audience for my my sphincter.
Yeah.
Must-see TV.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
They kind of did that on the morning show with Jennifer Aniston. Like, she was going through COVID symptoms, and she, videoed it all to her audience.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Apple TV show?
What the hell are we talking about here?
Yeah, the Apple TV show.
There's an Apple TV show called what?
The Morning Show.
Starring Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
And she did what on this show? Or is this is a live show, a fictional show?
Fictional show.
She did what?
She live streamed her going through COVID and her symptoms and what she was doing to make her feel better and stuff like that.
One listener texted in to say they had a very painful experience at the, how do you call it, the colonoscopy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, what happened?
For us, it was both of us. I mean, we went different doctors too, and it was really easy. And I felt like a fool that I canceled so many appointments. I pushed it off super far, and maybe they wouldn't have found as many polyps, right? So if I had, I gone in sooner.
I was so friggin' high, I didn't feel a thing. Utility locator Jesus, get back to me. Text me. What was painful about your your colonoscopy?
Big D Trucker Jesus said he had the camera go up the front. I had that as well. I had that scope.
Oh, yeah, your pecker.
Now, that is, I will give that a less stars than the colonoscopy. That is very uncomfortable. I can't say it really hurt because they numb you up, but it is uncomfortable for sure. I'd still obviously do it. You can handle it, but that was not as much fun.
How many of you go shopping at a joint called Lululemon?
Lululemon?
My wife is a Lululemon fan.
Yeah, no, I wish. Their stuff is expensive.
I've got bad news for you.
I'm very wealthy, Ashley, so I don't even notice price tags.
Wait a minute, you just yelled at me for doing the big time move.
Well, you suggested celebrity and lesser people. I think people know radio folks aren't in high tax brackets, so it's sarcastic.
Oh, I wasn't being sarcastic at all. At any rate, what was I saying? Lululemon. Bad news if you were going to go out there and buy some leggings. Is that the same thing as yoga pants?
Yeah,
Essentially,
I think so.
They're all in the same category.
Seems the same to me.
There's a certain set of leggings they sell over there at Lulu's. They're pulling them off the shelf because it says here when you put them on, it gives you a case of long butt.
Long butt.
Lululemon's thought these new leggings were going to be a big hit, but they ended up being a massive turd because folks bought them and pulled them on, and they all came down with long butt. $98 they want in trade for these leggings. By God. Now, I don't know anything about clothing designs, not even a little bit, but the word is here there's a V-shaped seam on the ass of these leggings. One customer said, I was hoping the V-shape in the back would be flattering, but it was too aggressive for me. All I could see was a whale tail giant arrow pointing to my ass crack. I guess, otherwise known as long butt. Is that similar to trucker butt? I have trucker butt.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have leggings that do that, but the only difference with these ones is that it's like too high up. The seam is too high up, so it doesn't like actually make your butt look just like nice and round.
Like it just goes straight
like
in your
apple.
back?
Yeah.
I'd have to see this, I guess, to fully understand it. But the problem was a lot of women's didn't find the pants flattering. The common complaint was that they didn't have a, quote, cup to hold your ass and give it a desirable shape. Instead, it looked flat and long, and it was hard to tell where your ass ended.
I still get kind of surprised by the yoga pants, right? Like how tight they are and stuff. Some of them look sprayed on, and it's just, it used to be people wore those in yoga class, and now it's kind of everywhere.
According to what I looked up on the godless internet, there are 5 different types of butts. 5. Square. And it gets kind of complicated here, all this conversation about where your hips are and where your waist is, and then your ass does this. I don't feel like getting into that. I mean, the 5 different types of butt. Square, A-shaped. Like, Josh, stand up. Let me look at your ass. I'll try to determine what kind of butt
All right,
you
do you
have.
want me to pull my shorts to make it a little tighter?
Pull your shorts to make it... oh, I see what you mean. You know what you have? Inverted.
Oh, what does that mean? I mean, just what it sounds like?
Yeah, where you're thicker in the hips, and then when we get to your ass, it kind of narrows out.
Yeah, I've birthing hips. A lot of women are attracted to me for that.
So the different kind of butt. Square, A-shaped, inverted, like Josh. Round, otherwise known as the bubble butt. And the upside-down heart. Let me tell you something, fellas. That's the one we're going for.
Yeah, that's a
From
nice
the pictures I saw on the internet, that's the one we're going for, fellas. Be ready. The upside-down heart, skis.
Yeah, the upside-down heart does sound the best, doesn't it?
It's like the hourglass figure.
You could probably, nowadays you can buy one of those, right? With the Brazilian butt lift or something like that.
Yep.
Oh, don't they have that cream too? That might help.
My wife uses that Miss Bum Bum cream.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't know if it's specifically for butts, but I'm sure you can put it there.
Miss Bum Bum Cream. I think I've heard of that. Do any of you know someone or another who is a collector, and what do they collect?
Yeah, baseball cards.
I started with authors I like. I get autographed books when they first come out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you have mentioned that before.
I collect rocks.
You collect rocks.
And if you're interested, if there's an author you like, it's oftentimes you're paying the hardcover price, right? But they don't charge extra for it. At least the places I've got them.
Oh.
I don't know if I know any collectors. Off the top of my head, I can't come up with anything. I know a lot of hoarders, which is similar. Know a lot of hoarders. Some folks collect things because they think it stands to make them some money one day. Others collect for different reasons. And again, there's the straight-up hoarders as well. A 77-year-old woman in stupid England. She goes by the name of Mary Jacobs. She's looking to sell her collection of 163 bedpans.
That's not collection right there.
Says here, each one is different. She's been collecting them for 40 years.
Anyone here ever had to use one?
Yes.
No, thankfully not.
Yeah, I had to whiz.
That was going to be my second question.
You know the story about when my lung collapsed.
Yeah.
I was a 14-year-old kid. My lung went and collapsed on me. Had to spend 6 days in the hospital. The medical term is a spontaneous pneumothorax. It was friggin' miserable. It was miserable. And, yeah, day one, they start shoving that bedpan under my inverted ass and saying, go ahead. Well, I could hang a squeege on them, but I couldn't bring myself to deuce.
Wait, and you were laying down?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I don't know if I could do that on purpose.
I don't know if I could either.
I could not get out of bed. So, yes, I had to be in a lying position. I think I could run the remote on the bed and kind of fold myself in half into more of a seated position.
Okay.
But my chest was hooked up to a machine because of the collapse. So at first, it was shyness. I just couldn't picture myself cutting a turd and then handing it to a nurse.
This is for you.
I made this.
As a grown man now, absolutely I could. It's not my problem.
Really? You could now?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I don't think I still...
You know me. I could duke in a hat. You put it on the floor right now, I'll duke in a hat.
Yeah, but you're not really in front of people, though.
Wouldn't bother me at all.
Really?
No. As a kid, I was very... I got shy about it. And then after a while, I think because I was ingesting so much incredibly delicious junk food, I think I became constipated. Because here I was, a 14-year-old kid in a hospital bed and stuck there for 6 days. Every few hours, friends and family would be bringing me pizza, ice cream, cheeseburgers, and I think everything just kind of became a massive... So I did not take a deuce for 6 days. That's my all-time record.
Oof. Oh, the pain.
Josh knows that all too well.
I do.
I'll never forget when they finally unhooked me from that machine. My lung was healed, and I could get up. Number one, I couldn't physically get up without help. It was the weirdest thing. They had to reteach me to walk after laying there for 6 days. I can't imagine what someone goes through if they're laid out in a hospital for months. It took a good, 20 minutes of people standing at either side of me as I practiced walking again down the hall. Maybe my youth had something to do with that. I don't know. But when I finally got out of that bed, it hit me. I had to let her buck right now. And I went in. My dad was the only one in the room with me. And I went into the little bathroom in my hospital room, and I unleashed the fury. It was horrible. Horrible. The sound, the everything. And all I really remember about it was this unbelievable feeling of relief as it all, like Dumb and Dumber, comes piling out of me. And I hear my dad's voice from the other side of the door. He says, Jesus Christ. This gal's got a collection of bedpans.
As far as collections go, you asked, do you know anybody that has is a collector. This person says, do felonies count? Because I've collected a few of those.
Oh, no.
That's from retired inmate Jesus. This person says, I work in a gravel pit. I collect agates. Is that
agates.
Agates. It's like a disease. I couldn't stop if I tried.
Oh, that's so cool. Jealous.
163 bedpans. She's looking to get rid of them. She put them up for auction this month, and no one bid dick on these damn things. She says they're clean and in fantastic condition. Well, yeah, but they're bedpans, and nobody cares. Just cut to the chase and throw them away. Do it right now. Friggin' hoarders.
My wife has mild hoarderism.
Oh, it's terrible.
There's things she'll be like, well...
Is it really mild?
It's mild to medium. She's getting a little better because I have the opposite problem. And I have gotten myself in trouble before where I'll be like, I really wish I didn't get rid of that. We need that. We got to buy another one now.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't get rid of stuff.
I really love getting rid of... I love not having things.
Right.
But she's kind of the opposite.
You are a hoarder, Ashley?
A little bit. Like, I guess
that means a lot.
My house isn't, like, messy. It's all organized and put away. But I definitely still have, like, schoolwork from my first year of college.
Why?
Because I'm like, maybe I'll need it.
Well, you won't. Then you're a full-on. Come on, don't give me this little bit. You have paperwork from college because maybe you'll need it?
Well, I do throw some things away, but for
while
the most
crying
part...
and screaming, while there's a mediator and a bunch of guys wearing orange vests in your home.
Yeah,
I do have like a weird connection to like inanimate objects. Like I feel bad if I throw stuff away sometimes.
I almost feel like something's wrong with me that I am not sentimental at all.
No, me neither.
You just get a card and throw it away right away?
Essentially, yeah. I have even asked people, I tell them, save your money. Yeah, it's no, like, offense, and I don't mean to be rude in any way, but I don't put any sentimental value on things. But my wife is the opposite, so she's a much better person. Because she definitely...
This is the sippy cup that my baby used when it, you know what I mean?
This is the first time our oldest... It's the first time Cam sneezed, and we got it in a Kleenex. She'll want to keep all that kind of... Medical device Jesus said his wife, or ex-wife, has mild whoreism, too. No, I said hoard.
Different thing, dude.
For a radio guy, I can't speak very well, I guess.
Like
hoardism.
Hoard?
Yeah, not whoreism.
Like Josh, I'm wildly opposite to hoarders, and I know a few, and when I go to their homes, I'm on edge the entire time. I just want to sweep all of their items into a garbage can and say, it's time! I can't relax in a hoarder's home. And
well, let me know. Does that mean something's wrong with me if I'm not sentimental at all?
No.
I don't think so.
I wonder sometimes.
No,
Maybe that means I'm just dead on the inside.
You're doing all right. Oh, we're out of time. Or should I do the bulletproof?
I might as well do the bulletproof. That's up on 93x.com.
There's a bulletproof house for sale in Ohio. A bulletproof house. Being right is not a bulletproof vest, Freddie. What movie? Copland. Bulletproof house, I said. It's for sale, $400,000. 400. No windows. Every surface has been covered with a bulletproof material. I think the Punisher used to live in this house. That must be. Right? No. It's a bulletproof house with no windows.
Yeah.
The prior owner must be the Punisher.
That person is either... I think that person needs a little help.
Mm-hmm. It's very eerie looking.
To be that scared.
The no windows thing.
I think the word is the owner checked out. He or she must have been a unique person. The house is also fireproof. Even some of the furniture is bulletproof. Look it up on, 93x.com. Smooth Up In You, what band? The Bullet Boys.
Oh, man. I dig that song. They had a couple good ones, didn't they?
Against the Wind, what band?
Poison.
No, Against the Wind. Against the Wind.
Against the Wind. Bob Seger.
And the
Heartbreakers.
Silver Bullets.
Silver Bullet Band. Are you guys from Russia or something?
I was thinking Ride the Wind, which is a Poison song that I do enjoy.
Switchblade, Jay Wright, Kenny Omega, and AJ Styles have been the leaders of what television wrestling stable? Think of the theme, your name is Wapple. The theme.
It's Bullet. Oh, boy. God, I hate myself.
The Bullet Club.
There we go.
Sports. on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, I found my new favorite T-shirt ever. The guy on the right. I can't. I'm a moron. There it is on tape and everything for the director. They'll use that, wear it up.
All right, that's very funny. I would love it if this video was on 93x.com.
I believe it is, yes.
Give me a solid answer before this conversation is over.
I posted so many videos, so I have to go through and look.
I believe you did as well.
Okay.
She posts a lot of videos. She's got to look. Okay. Steve Berthume is the name of this cat, calling an Arizona Diamondbacks game. And the camera cuts to the crowd, shows a bunch of teenage kids, mugging for the camera. And Berthume sees a T-shirt that he likes, and he says it out loud. Now, that's my favorite T-shirt I've seen all night. It's a blue T-shirt that says, "I can't, I'm a moron." What's hilarious about it is the T-shirt actually said, "I can't, I'm a Mormon."
All right, I found my new favorite T-shirt ever. The guy on the right. I can't. I'm a moron. There it is on tape and everything for the director.
I love that bit.
Use that, wear it up.
Whoops.
That is good.
It's possible he's looking at just a tiny monitor and
I'm not trying to criticize the guy.
Oh, I know you're not, but I'm trying to for anybody going, how do you mess that up? It clearly says Mormon.
There's a bunch of kids jumping around, waving their arms and stuff.
Of all the things.
I love it. Just yesterday, I misread I'm a grown person. I got to be able to come up with stuff like this. I misread the marquee on a building. It's not a funny story what it really was and what I thought it was, but just yesterday I completely misread. I said it out loud, and the wife said, "What the hell are you reading?" Anyway, so the guy...
That just happened to me. I bought a T-shirt online. Remember I showed you this, Nick, off the air? I bought a T-shirt online. I saw a woman wearing a shirt that said, diabetes, 1 out of 5 stars, very bad, would not recommend.
Right.
So I have epilepsy, and I thought maybe there's an epilepsy one. And there was. So I ordered it. I was very excited to get it. And I put it on, and my wife's like, I don't get why is the spelling funny? Why did they put that on there? And I looked, and it was epilepsy. Epilepsy.
Oh, no.
And so I looked. The site I got it from was from out of the country, very far away. So maybe it was just lost in translation.
You didn't notice even after you pulled it over your head.
I never noticed.
Misspelling.
Until she brought it up.
And you were probably so excited to wear it around town.
Dude, I couldn't wait to wear it.
Yep.
Oh, some glorious things, I'm sure, happened at the Olympics yesterday. And... I'm sure Snoop Dogg did something that wouldn't be thought of as funny if anyone else did it. We can cover that when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder check in. The Twins, there ain't much a guy could say about last night's Twins game. Hell, they got shut out 2-0 by the New York Metropolitans. We'll get into that. They did make a deal yesterday, the Twins. As I predicted, they did make a deal. It's not going to thrill anybody, but they did make a move. Real quick before we go, because we got to get to Josh's news report here in a minute. Real quick before we go, we're talking about people who collect things. And there's kind of a fuzzy fine line between collectors and hoarders. But anyway, we were talking about folks who collect things. Ashley collects rocks. Josh collects autographed books, right?
Right.
Autographed novels.
Correct.
Barron County welder Jesus says he has a collection of several thousand muskie lures.
Oh, wow.
I bet those are very expensive.
My friggin' wife bought us a muskie lure a few months ago. It's a little Yorkie, and we named her Gertrude.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've got Josh's news coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Every week, Michael Rosenbaum is getting deep with someone new on the Inside of You podcast.
Let's get inside of Kevin Smith.
I can go to a movie and enjoy it, and I'm never like, I could have done that better.
Really?
Never. I started as a fan. I'll finish as a fan. And the difference between this iteration of Kevin Smith at age 53 and the one that most people met at the beginning of my career, back then, I would have told you all the movies that I hate, and here are the reasons why they suck. And you would never hear that from me today.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
I saw her just beating my mother.
I thought I was in a dream, a nightmare.
A Maryland woman and her mother are speaking out after a violent home invasion Sunday night that was just plain weird. Police say the suspect, a 40-year-old woman from Alabama, was looking for an ex-husband or perhaps an ex-boyfriend, but at the wrong house.
Opened the door and she said, "Does Sean Paul live here?" And I said, "No, I don't know any Sean Paul." And I closed it and I locked it. The back door was unlocked, and that's when I ran to the back, and she just blew through the doors and started just hitting me.
And after listening to her, I can understand why. As you just heard, Kristen described the attack that started when the doorbell rang. She opened the door, and the woman asked for Sean Paul. Kristen said she didn't know a Sean Paul and then closed that door. But moments later, the suspect tried to break in through the front. And when that wasn't successful, she went to the back, attacking Kristen and Linda, that is, when she got inside, leading to the women to call 911.
Open line with a female screaming in the background, someone saying, "Get away from me." Then another call from a female saying that a female was beating another.
What the hell's with the voices in this story?
That sounded like something out of Star Wars.
It did.
The suspect, LaToya Owens, was eventually restrained by neighbors until police arrived.
Well, where's Sean Paul at?
I don't know. And is there really a Sean Paul?
Maybe there's no such thing as a Sean Paul.
Police in Georgia are on the lookout for who's responsible for hiding thousands of dollars worth of drugs inside a guitar amplifier. Employees at the Guitar Center in Lawrenceville discovered the drugs inside the amp July 17th. The employees were handling what appeared to be a stranded box, but a suspicious box, but got suspicious.
Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Drugs were in the box. They opened the box and found cocaine and methamphetamine stuffed inside a guitar amp.
In this case, we have employees that did the exactly right thing. It's extremely rare that this happens at any business.
Police believe the incident is part of a larger problem involving the shipping of drugs through U.S. mail, and investigators think drug dealers have attempted this method before.
They'll attach business logos or business return addresses on the box.
Just last year, a specialized Georgia police unit intercepted 4,500 pounds of drugs worth approximately $70 million being shipped through FedEx and UPS thanks to the help of a canine unit. A spokesperson for Guitar Center said they are fully cooperating with law enforcement.
So it was an amplifier inside a box?
Yeah, there was an amp in the box. Inside the amp was a bunch of drugs.
Oh, I was just picturing an amplifier set in there, and I thought maybe you had your musician sitting there at, Guitar Center. He's practicing Gimme 3 Steps or something by Lynyrd Skynyrd. And then a cop walks in and he hides his drugs in the amplifier and he gets the hell out of there.
Nah, it was mailed there. It was like Kurt Cobain's amp. There was so much drugs in there.
Speakers and amps, that was a good spot to hide drugs.
Oh, yeah? You've got some experience?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, apparently that's what these guys did. I've been spending a lot of time at Guitar Center lately.
Oh, did you find any drugs in the amps?
Nope.
Oh, you should check
Didn't even look, though, but I did get a phone number from a gentleman that works there. How about that?
Nice.
I like getting guys' numbers. What was a normal Monday afternoon at work for Jared Cooper quickly changed after he was left dangling hundreds of feet in the air while cleaning the windows of the tallest building in Alabama.
Oh, hell no.
Cooper works for Squeegee Squad and said he had an odd feeling.
He works for the Squeegee Squad?
He does. He said he had an odd feeling the night before when tasked to clean the skyscraper's windows. And he was right, because he got stuck more than 450 feet in the air. While dangling from the 35th floor, Cooper said all he could do was wait for help to arrive, and thinking this may be it for him, he called his mom to let her know. As a heads up, there are some sirens in this clip.
He calls me a lot from work, and he said, "Hey, Mom, I'm stuck here on a ledge." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Jared has always been kind of a daredevil, and if it's a high-risk job, he's like, "Sign me up."
After more than an hour, Cooper was safely brought back over the ledge by rescue crews.
Very thankful for the fire department today, though. They were the rescuers, and I'm really proud of how quickly they reacted.
Wasn't expecting that fast of a response to it.
Investigators say some sort of equipment malfunction led to that terrifying incident.
That's a close one, huh?
Yeah. You can see the video on 93x.com. A 41-year-old Maine man, Jason Arsenault, faces up to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to a bank robbery in South Portland earlier this year via the drive-thru. January 26, he drove up to a key bank in a suspected stolen vehicle. Wearing a black winter hat, sunglasses, and a black mask, he passed a note demanding money and said he'd set off a car bomb if alarms were triggered.
According to investigators, Jason Arsenault went to a bank in South Portland and using the pneumatic tube, he passed a note to the teller asking for $50,000 while threatening to detonate a car bomb.
The bank teller gave him some of the money, which he took before driving away. Surveillance cameras helped identify him. His vehicle was found shortly after in a nearby parking lot, and the area was evacuated as a precaution. 6 days later, he was arrested. He confessed and led investigators to the stolen money hidden in some woods. Nearly all of the $30,000 he got was recovered.
When you want to rob a bank, but you're not the most confrontational guy in the world, you use the tube system.
As a kid, I always thought that tube was so cool. You know what? I still do.
Yeah, it's still pretty fascinating.
It's so
to me.
convenient. You can pick up your groceries, have somebody bring them out to you. You can rob a bank right through the drive-thru. What a time to be alive. A woman banned from visiting a Florida Walmart was arrested last week after returning to the store because she wanted to buy a specific pack of Diet Pepsi. 65-year-old Kathleen Hagan was arrested for trespassing after the incident when a records check revealed an active warrant for her arrest for shoplifting. According to an arrest affidavit, she visited Walmart Thursday despite being issued a trespass warning in May. Deputies said she knew about that warning. When interviewed, she claimed she didn't think she'd be caught and that Walmart has that specific pack of Diet Pepsi she likes. Deputies confirmed the trespass warning and took her into custody. Inflation's led to price surges at grocery stores, car dealerships, and restaurants nationwide. And a new study finds it's also the main motive behind another recent surge, shoplifting. According to a new survey from personal finance website LendingTree, more than 20% of Americans have admitted to stealing items from stores within the past year. Of those who admitted to retail theft, roughly 90% said they did so because of inflation and the current economy. Specific reasons included prices becoming otherwise unaffordable, helping make ends meet, and helping save a few bucks. LendingTree's survey followed a recent report from the Council on Criminal Justice, which found shoplifting rose 24% in the first 6 months of the year, even as reports of other crimes have gone down. Retailers have long raised concerns about a rise in shoplifting, particularly the so-called smash and grab incidents. The most common items shoplifted included food and non-alcoholic drinks, which 45% of those who admitted to shoplifting said they've stolen. Clothes, accessories, jewelry, and makeup or cosmetics were also common targets. What they're shoplifting tells you a lot about why they're shoplifting, LendingTree said in a statement. These generally aren't thrill seekers looking for an adrenaline rush or a big score. These folks are taking things they really, really need, like food, clothing, and makeup. To help combat rising retail theft, some companies have equipped their employees with body cameras to spot the crimes in real time. Other major retailers are turning to other forms of technology, and more things are being locked up behind counters.
Man, no joke about things being locked up. You need a stick of deodorant these days. You've got to flag somebody down with a set of keys.
It is kind of weird, right? Some of the stuff that has to be locked up.
Cool body cams.
Yeah. you go to Marshall's or something, and they might be wearing a body cam. Make sure you turn that thing off in the bathroom. That'd be.
Yeah. I would forget constantly.
You turn a body cam into a
potty cam.
That's right.
A man in Fishers, Indiana was caught on dash cam standing on the seat of his motorcycle, going 104 miles per hour while a cop chased him. In a video,
friggin' straight up organ donor right here.
Yep. In a video you can see on 93x.com, police shared a wild video where the guy stands on the seat for a good while, weaving around the road like he's in a circus act, perhaps seeking some online clout, hoping to get his stunt caught on the cop's dash cam. Well, mission accomplished. Despite his efforts, however, the officer eventually pulled him over and arrested him for reckless driving. Since the dashcam video doesn't show vehicle speed, it's difficult to confirm or debunk the Fisher police claim, but some online are saying there's no way he was going 104. Either way, though, it was a dangerous and stupid stunt.
What are you doing, dude?
A Pennsylvania man was arrested for multiple traffic violations and on an active warrant following a June traffic stop that involved a pit bull. According to Pennsylvania State Police, June 23rd, 12:38 a.m., troopers initiated a traffic stop on a motorcycle for multiple traffic violations. The driver, identified as 28-year-old Devin Yake, Even had a large dog on his lap while operating that motorcycle. According to troopers, he was driving carelessly, failing to use turn signals, driving too fast, failing to stop for a stop sign, and didn't have a license plate. He also had meth, marijuana, and other paraphernalia in his sock. Then there was
and he had a dog.
Then there was the active warrants for fleeing and eluding police. He had determined that it was determined he was under the influence of drugs, and the very friendly pit bull on his lap willingly took a ride in a patrol car with a sober officer before being released to a responsible party. Humans and dogs have been companions for around 30,000 years, and this long relationship suggests dogs are good at interpreting our emotions.
Oh, heck yeah.
Researchers at the University of Bristol found dogs evolved to read cues from their owners, and research shows they can smell stress. I must carry stress in my crotch because my dog's heads are always buried there.
Right there, huh?
My poor dogs probably think that's just the way I always smell.
The scientists said in a recent study that man's best friend's ability to sense stress likely evolved as a survival mechanism, helping them detect potential threats in their pack. The study's lead author noted sensing stress from another pack member was likely beneficial because it alerted them to a threat another group member had detected.
My youngest pup, Widow, if I kind of gasp in a way where it sounds like I'm about to cry, just like a little, she will immediately climb on my chest and start licking my face because she doesn't want me to cry.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It's so cute.
Yeah, that is cute.
The other two don't care.
They don't care at all?
Nope.
You ever do the fake fighting in front of your dog to see how it would react if you were?
Oh, yeah.
That's always fun.
Mm-hmm. The fourth season premiere of Unsolved Mysteries is on Netflix today. Playable character in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 M Shadows. The Avenged Sevenfold Singers, 43. Ryan on The Office, BJ Novak, 45. And Wesley Snipes is 62. Happy early birthday to Eleanor tomorrow from Daddy of Two Ginger Jesus. I hate ketchup cheeses. Text the Luther Bloomington Kia text line with a birthday shout out to her son-in-law Nathan. And happy birthday to Concrete Haulin' Jesus from your brother, built like a pool noodle Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
If you see him, do not approach him. He is considered extremely dangerous. His depravity knows no bounds. I mean, this is someone who has nothing to lose, so I don't know what he's capable of doing.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
How many 5-year-olds would it take to tackle you?
You're limited stamina, it would be like 1 million.
1 million? Get out of here.
If I never got tired?
Let's be realistic.
But I'm saying if you didn't get tired.
Yeah.
I'm stiff arming everybody. I ain't no disrespect. When I'm on the grass, I'm taking it serious. It's gonna take at least 100.
5-year-old? Just one.
5?
My daughter, just one.
Go ahead, cut them loose. They're gritting their teeth and they're raring to go. Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder are, by God. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What were we listening to there, Josh, in our intro? What was that noise?
The Minnesota Vikings social media team, they asked some players how many 5-year-olds they think they could take, right? How many 5-year-olds it would take to bring them down on a football field. And the last guy was Depot, our buddy, and he said that it was just one, his daughter.
Oh, come on. That's all sappy.
Well, he's
so
a sweet guy.
Sure.
Sweet guy.
I'll kick a 5-year-old's ass.
Yeah, you know what? And a lot of the players had said the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll just run right over them?
Yeah, like Josh Metellus is like, bring them all on. I'll take them all.
Whoa, I love that.
How you doing over there, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder?
Good.
Yep, good. Same here.
You ready to F around and find out?
Sure, let's do it.
Who is that? What's that gal's name again? Simone Biles of the ladies' United States gymnastics team. She said that they have a nickname for their team that they gave themselves. Themselves is how you say it. And the nickname is it FAAFO?
What is your team name? Don't say it. I'm not going to say it. Abbreviate it. Just abbreviate it. Okay. Around and find out. Abbreviate it.
FAAFO, which stands for F around and find out.
Right.
Are they playing the underdog card too?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I don't think they were, no.
Okay.
That would be hilarious, wouldn't it, Brad Ryder?
Yeah, we've talked about that on the show. How
We
that
love that around here. When members of the Kansas City Chiefs or New York Yankees or Connecticut basketball. Who are some other dynasties? The Patriots. So there's always going to be one jagoff on the team who, when they win the championship, they say, you know what? This one was for all the people who didn't believe in us.
Exactly.
No one gave us a chance going into the playoffs. I love that when they play that card. No, I didn't hear that from the ladies.
Okay. I didn't know if that was her angle on that.
They only picked that nickname because of that Michaela Skinner lady that came at them and said they weren't talented.
I'm sorry, what happened?
There's a lady named Michaela Skinner. It was an ex-teammate of Simone Biles. She said that that Simone Biles deserves all the recognition she gets, but that her other teammates are lazy and don't put in as much commitment to gymnastics as everybody else does.
Well, this lady you're referencing, it sounds like she might have effed around.
Yeah.
And now,
she found out.
Currently, she's finding out.
Oh, yeah.
So with that win for the U.S. Ladies Gymnastics Club, that gold medal in the team department, or however you say it in Olympic terms, that makes Simone Biles the most decorated Olympic gymnast of all time.
Simone will officially pass Shannon Miller for the most United States Olympic medals.
Yeah, it's official! Golden again!
Team USA wins team finals at the Olympic Games.
They've done it. The USA and Simone Biles, that gold medal. Now that's a comeback.
So she now has 9 medals. Is that right?
Yep.
I swear to God I had this in front of me. She has 9 Olympic gold medals. Or is it medals altogether?
Altogether.
Okay. A gal named Shannon Miller held the record as the most decorated gymnast in American history. Shannon Miller won 7 medals between 1992 and 1996. So that must mean this made 8 for Simone Biles. Did I get the name right?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like she's got 5 gold medals, 1 silver, and 2 bronze.
Gosh, just phenomenal.
Listen to this. There's a Russian gymnast who still holds the record for all gymnastics. Larissa Latnina. 18 friggin' medals. You guys remember seeing her on television?
No.
I don't know.
That I do.
Maybe she goes back to the 1800s or something. I don't know. But Larissa Latnina, 18 friggin' medals in gymnastics.
Or she was one of those people who competed from the time she was 12 until she was 40.
That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah, gymnastics does go down that route. Sometimes you get just straight up little kids out there. So all in all, Team USA snagged 6 more medals yesterday. So they're doing just fine. There was 3 silver medals and a bronze in swimming. One of those swimming medals, a silver, went to a gal from effing Lakeville, Regan Smith.
Yep.
She got the silver medal in the 100-meter backstroke. So now she's won 3 of them, I think, overall. Women's rugby.
That was cool.
What do you mean that was cool? You watched the game?
I did, actually.
Did you understand what was happening? Do you follow the rules?
I follow enough to kind of know, and I didn't intentionally seek it out. I was watching the coverage on Peacock, and they do that split screen thing where they got 4 different events going on at once. You kind of pick which one you want. I go, rugby looks cool. So I threw that on, and I just so happened to catch the last 5 minutes of the game to see that amazing finish.
It was
There it is! Oh there it is! Cedric with the conversion, and Team USA make history in Paris.
My God.
Is it bad that I kind of like seeing the other teams cry when the U.S. beats them?
That's just very you.
Yeah,
Or
that's
actually
fitting.
Very Nick, too.
Oh, USA, yeah, America, baby.
Everybody was crying on that field.
I dig that, Ashley, too. And it doesn't have to be an American team. I like to watch losers in pain. My mother, if ever I'm up at her place and we're watching I think last spring, I ended up at my folks' place, and we're sitting around the house, and I turned it on March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament. My mother won't watch the endings of these dramatic playoff games and championship games because she cannot stand to see the facial expressions on the losing team. It bums her out too much.
Oh, she'd probably hate the Little League World Series then, when it's 12-year-olds out there sobbing.
That is tough to watch.
The Little League World Series?
Yep.
So last spring she walked out of the room when somebody beat somebody because she can't say she's SAWFT soft about things like that. Women's rugby.
Not many people know this, but that's why you became a Timberwolves fan, Nick.
Because of my enjoyment of pain?
Losing, yes.
Losing. Bronze medal women's rugby. And all kinds of other wonderful things. By the way, Simone Biles also has 30 medals from world championship events. So she's got a pretty well-decorated trophy case. Now, here's something that grabbed me. She broke the record. She and her teammates broke this record and won the damn team gold in front of her husband, a guy named Jonathan Owens, who plays for the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Used to play for the Packers.
I've never heard of the guy. Do you guys know this guy?
He's a defensive back. Is that right?
I just know him because he's Simone Biles' husband.
Yeah.
So
that's how I know him too.
He's not a star player for the Bears or anybody else?
I don't think so.
No,
but
I think he's a starter. But
he plays. But yeah.
All right.
There's a new documentary on Netflix. It's a two-part thing that kind of like the quarterback and the receiver. They followed Simone Biles after the last Olympics and leading up to this one. And it's very interesting. You really get even more appreciation for how great she is when you watch this. And he's featured in it a lot, too. And he seems like a really supportive husband and cool guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming he got an excused absence from camp to go watch her.
He did. Yeah.
John Owens is the guy's name. All right.
I don't know. He also tried to claim that he didn't know who she was when he met her. So I don't know about that guy.
Well, I mean, it's not the easiest thing to find on television.
How long ago did he meet her, though? I mean,
she was a gymnast. Like, she was a very well-known person at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he's just so manly.
Yeah, I think it's one of those vibes for sure.
He's so manly that he doesn't have time for gymnastics. So the ladies' gymnastic team, they are the F Around and Find Out Club, or whatever their nickname is. Wikipedia has dumped a new nickname on LeBron James here since the Olympics began. Wikipedia, if you look it up, they're calling him Captain Limerica. Where can we go with that?
It's cute.
I think it was wasn't it actually Basketball Reference? Did Wikipedia do it as well?
Oh, I have it in front of me that Wikipedia is now calling LeBron James Captain. You know, Josh once had his arm broken for him at a bar by a Frenchman because Josh refused to say, "I love crepes."
I just don't love them. I like them.
And remember, I said to you, Josh, I said, "Don't say it, Cubby. These colors don't run." It's one of my favorite scenes from that movie. What's that movie called again?
Talladega Nights.
I love that when John C. Reilly says, "Don't you say it. These colors don't run." What was his name again? Jean Girard?
Yeah.
He drives Formula
My name's Jean Girard.
Don't you say it, Cubby. So we got his arm broken. All right, so Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. After what Simone Biles did yesterday, some folks started to argue back and forth on godless social media. Who is the greatest American summer Olympian of all time?
Oh, it has to be the swimmer.
It has to be Michael Phelps, doesn't it?
Michael Phelps, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who else comes to mind?
He has the most medals, so I don't know why that's a hard discussion.
Yeah, doesn't he have like 28 medals and 23 of them are gold or something crazy like that?
Simone Biles is mentioned. Michael Phelps is mentioned.
Sure.
Can you come up with anyone else on the top, off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, maybe Carl Lewis.
He's not mentioned in here. I was surprised by that.
Okay.
What about Michael Johnson? I loved him when I was a kid.
Michael Johnson, sure.
How many medals did Mark Spitz win?
He
a
won
pile
lot.
of them. We talked about him not that long ago. I can't remember the number.
He would be in that list.
The others who were mentioned were Jesse Owens.
Yep.
And Caitlyn Jenner.
Sure.
Well, yeah, Bruce Jenner.
Right. Well, you know who I mean.
Yeah.
The most common answer was not sure.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you kind of they're in your you're big into these athletes for a couple weeks, and then you kind of forget about them.
Right.
Mark Spitz
unless you win a pile of medals, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, that guy won a pile of medals.
Mark Spitz has 11, 9 of them gold.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pretty good.
Yeah. He was
Michael,
amazing.
The most popular answer was I'm not sure, mainly because of what you guys just covered. You know, some folks follow the Olympics, some don't, and you forget these people quite easily. The most popular answer was I'm not sure. But Michael Phelps got the majority of the votes compared to Simone Biles, Jesse Owens, and Bruce and/or Caitlyn Jenner.
Yep.
This sounds like trouble right here. A French canoe and kayak isn't a word, Josh.
It could
be. A
be.
French canoe and kayak coach working at the Olympics had to be detained by police. That's the word they're using, detained. He allegedly punched a couple of cops when they tried to stop him from taking a whiz on the sidewalk.
Uh-oh.
Oh, gross, dude. Pea fingers to the face. He's hanging it on the sidewalk, taking a squeege. The cops tried to stop him, and he got all punchy.
Well, punching a cop's usually not a good idea. So
Yeah, that's bad.
The coach is named Guillaume Berger. I believe he's been suspended from his duties.
He has been, yeah.
Maybe a couple too many Pierre Weisers. You think that might have been what started it?
That was the issue.
Man, get in a fight with the cops with your pants and underwears around your ankles. I'm just picturing maybe he didn't get all zipped up before he started swinging and having his little French temper tantrum. Oh, man, I guess if it matters at all to you, he was not coaching the team, the canoe and kayak team there at the Olympics. He was hosting public service events, so maybe he was doing demonstrations and whatnot.
He may be doing some community service events now.
Yeah, community service. You ever have to put in your time with community service, Wapple, Ashley?
No, surprisingly.
You did community
Ashley?
service?
Yeah, I did.
What did you have to do?
I helped this really sweet old man clean up a church. It was actually like one of the best times ever. He made me really good lemonade every day.
Oh, wow.
And then afterwards, he was like, hey, you were such a great worker. If you go to apply for jobs, I won't tell them this was community service. Put me on as a reference.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so it worked out really well.
He made really great lemonade, Ashley says, and then when she came to...
That's what I was wondering as well. It always made me so sleepy.
Yeah. He always would...
In a church.
Yeah, in a church.
Oh, gee. Come on. Don't do that.
Yeah, come on, don't mix sex scandals in churches. What are you thinking?
There's enough of that already.
What?
Don't do
There is?
that.
I couldn't help myself.
I told you I had to do community service in high school for my high school, but never officially for the government.
Oh, that's one of the dumbest stories. Not that you tell dumb stories, but one of the dumbest things that's ever happened to you. If I am understanding, you're referencing the time you were late for graduation practice or something, and they made
I was
you
about 5 minutes late for graduation practice, and I had to write an apology to the principal, and then I had to help repaint the gym, which actually I learned a lot about chalk lines and painting and things like that.
For being 5 minutes late?
5 minutes late.
And the kid who never missed a day of high school.
Never missed a day of school.
School, yeah.
Did they mistake you for a different kid? There was no reason you should have been put through
Honestly,
that. I don't care if it's a Catholic school or whatever it was.
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
She threw the book at me for the good book at me for some reason. I don't know
There
what
was
happened.
no grace for you. That's surprising.
I didn't even know I was late. I felt terrible. I was late, but she pulled me aside and she was pissed.
I never had to do community service. I was too smart. When the cops showed up at the beer parties, I knew how to get out of there.
You run.
My buddy, no, I didn't run. You walk.
Yep. You act like you're supposed to be there.
They never said a word if you just walked out. And my buddies who had to do community service, they're the ones who, when the cops came to the beer party, they busted out the front door and went, ah! And the cops would run after them, give them
draw attention to
you
it.
walk out of there. I was too smart, Randy Shaver.
Ashley, this gentleman that made you lemonade, actually, what Minnesota Moses says, it's called a cosmopolitan.
Oh my God.
No wonder it tasted good.
I would come to, and he'd always be putting away a camera. Community service. Yeah, one of my pals had to rake the beach. And what that meant was they handed him a rake, he and the other derelicts, and he had to, in the cold spring mornings, he had to walk up to his neck in Lake Independence and then walk backwards and rake all the garbage off the bottom of the lake. Ooh, it was chilly, he said.
Wow.
But they'd get a little drunk and high on break, and then they wouldn't be so bad walking back into the... There's an Egyptian lady fencing at the Olympics. She's on the Egyptian fencing team. I think she got beat already in the tournament, but she's been competing while being 7 months pregnant at the same time.
Dang, girl. Women rock.
That's a friggin' athlete right there.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I didn't look at pictures of her. I mean, did she have the big belly going and everything? Because it sounds as if, to me, I can't be sure, it sounds as if she kept this a secret.
You could tell she's got something going on, but I guess I wouldn't assume she was pregnant. She's a little bigger.
Oh, okay.
But, not like bad or anything.
That's what
she doesn't look like she shouldn't be an athlete.
Maybe maybe when she qualified for the Olympics, she probably wasn't showing.
Pregnant.
Oh, Christ. They qualify that far ahead of time?
Sure.
Sometimes, yeah.
She's 7 months pregnant and was out there fencing in the Olympics. And no, the baby does not belong to Anthony Edwards. A couple of listeners have texted in already.
There's people online saying that the baby should get a medal as well. If she medaled.
Oh, yeah.
Because the baby helped. The baby was part of it.
Sure.
I think there's something to that. 7 months pregnant.
That is impressive.
What was your wife able to accomplish, Josh, when she was 7 months pregnant?
Well, she worked out all the way through it. Still taught classes and everything.
Working out?
Yeah, she still did all that kind of stuff. She was quite miserable towards the end, but she doesn't know how to hold a foil, so she wouldn't be out there fencing, that's for sure.
And you've always said that childbirth is really difficult on the father.
It is. People don't talk about it as much, but it is. The whole process, it's very stressful, definitely.
Got to learn how to put in that car seat.
But Randy and Brad, did you guys, your right side, get jacked from carrying that car seat around with the kid in it for a while? I'll tell you what, my right side was just absolutely pumped.
Sure.
Learn how to set up that. One of my fondest memories of a friend of mine is watching him as a 33-year-old man, or whatever he was at the time, lose his mind trying to figure out how to put a car seat into its proper place in the back seat of his car.
It ain't easy.
It was
I was 35 when my first child was born, and I remember sitting in that parking lot in the hospital in St. Paul trying to figure that out literally 10 minutes before my wife got discharged.
Well, there's classes. Like Target, they'll have, or local cops.
Yeah,
right?
cops. Cops that know do it.
They'll show up and teach you how to do it the right way.
It was a hot summer day. My pal was just brutally hungover, and I'd stop by his house right as he and the wife and the kid or two that they have were going summers. And he was taking the car seat out of one car and trying to install it into the other, and it was just killing him. He's pouring sweat. He doesn't want to go to whatever, where do kids go?
Toys R Us.
Sure. He didn't want to go. Oh, and he flipped out. That was good stuff. Here's a listener who grew up in Rogers, and back when he was a delinquent, their community service was ringing the Red Cross bell outside of Cabela's when it was 30 below zero with all the Christmas shoppers. Well, I know you're freezing your nuts off, but that sounds way better than raking a beach, raking all the condoms off the floor of Lake Independence.
Yeah, really? Or when you see him on the side of the freeway picking up all that stuff, too.
That looks bad.
I don't know.
I had a buddy that had to do that for a while, and he made some good friends.
I didn't think that stabbing trash looked that bad. You just kind of strolling down the sidewalk, stabbing. Again, put that up against raking the lake. I'll be a trash stabber every weekend.
Not on a day like today. 92 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't consider the heat. Yeah, that would be. All right, putting a car.
Is that what it's supposed to be today, 92?
Yeah, it's going to be hot.
Something along those lines.
It's a great day to play golf today.
Golf?
Oh, man.
Bring 2 shirts.
Yeah, bring a neck fan, pal.
Oh, just don't go. Ew, that sounds awful.
Yeah, you got to call that off. A guy your age could drop dead.
No, the price is right, and it's at a nice course, so I got to go.
Not much you can do about that.
Jesus. No. I'm gonna try to scare the hell out of Brett.
So who's getting you in for free then?
Jerry Zagoda. You know.
There you go.
Star Tribune.
Great
guy. I have to go.
Who? Jerry Zagoda. He's a great writer for the Star Trib.
Name drop.
Used to be the Timberwolves beat writer. He writes about golf.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Jerry. I hear you. I could scare the hell out of Brad right now with a golf story, couldn't I, Josh?
Yeah, maybe you should.
Dude.
Go ahead.
Just it's for his own good.
Yeah, this is for your own good. It's way too hot for a guy your age to be. Old family friend of mine last week dropped dead on the golf course.
No.
And then they brought him back with chest compressions.
Oh, my.
Oh, that is a relief.
And then they took him to the hospital where he died.
No.
No.
And then they brought him back again.
Oh, come on.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
And then the baby died.
Oh, come on.
That's a reference to another story. But yeah, he's doing well, last I heard. But the sumbitch dropped dead on the golf course and then died again at the hospital.
Oh, my gosh.
Jesus, criminy scared the hell out of me when I heard that story.
Wow.
Well, we're taking cards, so.
That's good.
That story, Nick, reminds me of this bit from Family Guy.
So, what do you think? Pretty healthy, eh? Mr. Griffin, I'm not quite sure how to say this. Kim Basinger? Basinger? Now, on to these test results. My, they're much worse than I thought. My son got a D- on his history test.
Please just tell us, is Peter healthy?
Oh, yeah, he's fine. He's just really fat.
Oh, thank God.
Wait, hang on a second. Did you just say I was fat? Well, yeah, you are pretty fat.
Okay, this is news to me.
I love that.
I don't know what happened to the longer version, but the longer version, he keeps dragging it out, making it seem like Peter's going to die.
And Lois is just like, we can't take any more shtick.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. I love that part when he says, okay, hang on a second.
News to me.
All right, you guys know I'm trying my best to be patient with the 24-hour Snoop Dogg coverage. I am. I'm trying. Because I do like the guy.
He's likable.
He's likable. But it's kind of like, we covered it a little bit yesterday. It's kind of like the Will Ferrell thing, where there are many Will Ferrell movie scenes and things he's done on Saturday Night Live where after you watch it, you say to yourself, wait a minute, that wasn't really funny. But yet everybody's falling for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg kind of does things where after it's over, I go, what, that was really funny? And then it's viral within 30 seconds. That's the comparison that I make. I like the guy. I just don't need the 24-hour. The latest bit, he has his own Smoke Rings Olympics pin. Do you know how folks trade pins at the Olympics?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
We used to do that up at USA Cup when soccer each summer in Blaine.
We don't need to hear your problems, Dana. We're in the middle of a... So he had some pins made before he went on over to the Olympics that he could exchange with other folks. And it's a pin. It's got a picture of him standing in front of the Eiffel Tower while exhaling 4 smoke rings in the colors of the official Olympics. I'm trying my best, you guys. I really am.
Oh, man.
A lot of folks have been talking about how Okay, we told a story a few days ago about how the Olympic athletes, if they don't get the massive endorsements, they don't make any real money, right?
Right.
Two former NFL players, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson, said they're going to give $25,000 to United States track athletes if they win gold medals in their respective events at the Summer Olympics.
If you win the 100-meter gold, me and Ocho, $25,000 apiece.
Bet. You know I don't like to spend no money.
You too, Sha'Carri.
You get that 100.
Nephew, hey, Rye, you win the gold, $25K. Noah Lyles trained 4 years for 9 seconds.
Noah, we got you. You might as well mail Sid her check now.
Yeah, that's $100K.
We good.
I'll pay $50,000 any American to break a world record. I don't give a damn what the event is.
That's awesome.
So this is for the track team. They haven't gotten started yet, have they?
No, they have
No. Yeah.
No.
So he just made the offer to the 100-meter runner, correct?
They named a few others.
Okay.
There's a few others that they said, okay, this person and that person, if you win, I'll give you. Okay. That's very nice of them. My God, just to have that kind of money hanging around and to help these athletes out. Track and field starts someday. They aren't happy, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson, with what Olympic athletes get paid after winning a gold medal. Apparently, if you win a gold medal, you get $37,000 from the United States Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't really cover your expenses for the last 3 years as you trained, but yeah.
Okay.
I will say this, that track athletes, there's a different set of rules. There are professional track meets across the world where appearance fees are paid to certain athletes to perform, so they may not be as much financially in trouble as some other athletes who, struggle to pay their bills and have to work jobs and that kind of thing. But I think it's great that they offer that. I've always thought that, the training facilities and everything are first class for all these athletes to train, but all that stuff costs money. And, unlike other countries, we don't give them carte blanche to be able to do what they want to do as athletes. So
I hear you. Little extra beer money for the track team. There ain't much a guy could say about last night's Twins game. Hell, they got shut smooth out.
Well, it doesn't help when Buxton strikes out 4 times, Lewis strikes out 3 times, and Miranda strikes out 3 times.
What?
And they're your 2, 3, and 4 hitters in your lineup. Sean Manaea, I got to give him credit. I mean, he's kind of resurrected his career with the Mets this season. I thought he was kind of left for dead. And when he signed with the Mets as a person in their rotation before the season started, I thought it was just kind of a temporary fix for New York. But he's 7-4. He struck out 11 guys last night. He looked like a Cy Young Award winner last night. So it's a tough loss for the Twins because Cleveland ends up winning, and now they're 6.5 back. So.
Yeah, I think the Twins are now tied for the wild card with the Royals, the last wild card spot.
Right. They're tied with the Royals, period.
And there's a couple teams that are coming up hard behind them, too. Yeah. Houston and Boston.
Manaea, he had the boys fooled last night.
Yeah, he did.
Davey Festa, the young kid who started for the Twins, hell, he did it.
Wasn't terrible.
No. I'm not even close to terrible. He left them in position to win the ball game.
Yeah. And so did the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen did a decent job last night. They just couldn't manufacture any runs.
The game took only 2 hours and 12 minutes. They'll get a day game in today to wrap up the series at high noon. Pablo Lopez, get us a win in the series, Pablo.
Against Severino today.
The Twins did make a move.
Is that what we're calling it? I mean, the Twins have come out and said, look, we like our roster. The price to make a significant trade was too high for minor league players that are in their system. I guess we have to go with what they're saying. But to pick up Trevor Richards at the trading deadline really did not move the needle at all for the Twins and their pursuit of a playoff spot. So.
The name of the pitcher the Twins made a deal for, yeah, you said it, Trevor Richards from the Toronto Blue Jays. All right.
I mean,
I was going to mention, I noticed last night the White Sox blew another save last night. That's 28 blown saves for them this year now.
Which tells you that they've been leading late in games and have had chances to win. They shouldn't be as bad as they are.
I had to read that twice. I'm like, there's no way they've blown 20, but they've blown 28 saves this year. I think I looked it up. The major league record is 33 or 34, and so they're going to break that. But their record is 27 and 83. And every team blows saves, I get it. But if you don't blow any of those saves, you're a 500 team. So, yeah, pretty bad.
Now, maybe this is why the Twins weren't too worried about going out and getting a pitcher before the trade deadline. The pimp is back.
Randy Dobnak.
Yep. Randy Dobnak is back in the big leagues. The Twins are going to give him another shot.
Okay.
The pimp. I've always been a Dobnak fan.
Mm-hmm.
I like his cool, he wears a mustache and he's got the glasses.
I like his glasses.
Drives an Uber.
Yeah, is he still doing that? It seemed like he was doing that for a long time.
You're not terribly excited about the pimp, Randy?
I think it's certainly if he performs well, it's a good move. I just think that the Twins missed opportunities here to bolster their pitching staff. I could be proven. May very well be proven wrong by the time we get to the end of the season, but I am going to write it down on my calendar to make sure we come back to this once the postseason begins as to where the Twins stand. Because I think a lot of people will be disappointed that if they miss the playoffs because their pitching did not hold up, unfortunately, that's going to be a tough thing. So,
well, we mentioned it the other day. They need a huge August because they're home almost the entire month of August. And if they go into September literally in the same position they are now, it's going to be tough.
The pimp is back.
They need to get some separation. Yeah.
Dobnak. Eastbound at sundown, Jesus says, the move, in quotations, the move the Twins made yesterday was the equivalent of lifting an ass cheek off the couch to fart.
Well, we'll see. I mean, apparently they are healthy. The lineup is healthy. So it's not like they've got Royce Lewis out and Miranda out and Buxton's hurt and they, found themselves in a position where they needed to actually go get some players to give them a chance. They're healthy. They just, I think, a lot of people felt like they need a little bit more help in the pitching department. But Falvey has come out and said, look, our rotation, our three guys are pretty good. And that's really all you need in the postseason is you need three guys. So,
a stupid Red Sox fan dropped an easy home run ball standing up on top of the Green Monster there Monday night. And he got ridiculed by the announcers and the fans and by his own wife, who was wearing a baseball glove standing right next to him, could have easily snagged that baseball.
I mean, that guy's got to make this catch.
Oh, look at him.
I mean, you got to make this catch. Look at right next to you. She's got the glove. She can't believe it.
Totally humiliated.
I mean, at least bring it in, right? Get it in the front row and you can tackle it. Devastating.
That's unacceptable.
Look at him.
He knows it.
She even covered her face with that glove.
They came for him.
That's not.
Yes, it is.
That's not that easy. Come on.
What are you talking about? It was
it
right.
landed in his hands.
Hits in the breadbasket.
It's the easiest it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, catching a 100-mile-per-hour baseball maybe should never be defined as easy, but that's as easy as it's going to get at a ballpark.
I didn't want to get in their way, so I went for the grab, and I got my hand, just bounced out. But at least it's still a home run. Well, I didn't know she had the glove on. We weren't expecting it.
I guess you can sit back on that, but you wait your entire life for a moment like that.
You know what? It's fine. I had a great time. I got phone messages from people that I haven't seen in 15 years. I had a family friend who I played hockey with 15 years ago walk down and say hi after seeing me on TV.
Oh, shut it.
He's not fine. You can tell because his voice it sounds like it went up a couple octaves.
Yeah, get some bass in your voice, masshole. He blew it when his wife was ashamed of him. Okay, I've been talking about all the stories that aren't actual stories that torture me as soon as NFL football practices begin, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Totally unnecessary garbage. Here we go. This might be the best one yet. And it's from Vikings training camp. And this story came out in the New York Post. This pig went national. Here's the headline, which then led to a, 5 or 6 paragraph story. J.J. McCarthy kisses fiancé at first Vikings training camp practice.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dude, holler at me when he rounds third base. I'll read that story.
It isn't like
that's the story?
That's the story.
That's what they.
Who cares?
Capacity.
What was she doing at Vikings practice?
She's currently dating Harrison Smith. I have no idea.
Yep.
She's J.J. McCarthy's fiance and Darnold's girlfriend.
She's trying to meet Darnold. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I don't know what the hell she's doing at practice.
Well, she's there watching.
Yeah, I'd probably watch too.
Big deal.
J.J. McCarthy kisses fiancé at first Vikings training camp practice. And I'm supposed to take...
Well,
I get it now. After practice, I thought they were trying to make a story out of the fact she was kissing a
She wasn't in the huddle or anything.
She runs on.
She runs out.
What in the world? Yeah.
So what? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Blue 42, blue.
That's my whole point, boys.
Lube salesman Jesus said he was struck by a home run at Target Field. He missed it and ended up with a bruise on his chest. And then he goes on to say, "I'm a loser."
Yeah, you deserve it.
Well, it happens. It friggin' Eric Stahl.
Somebody here says, if that was somebody else's fiance, that'd be a story. But
Yeah,
Sure,
right.
exactly.
it's so weird.
God, I hate the NFL.
Was that the first time they've ever kissed?
And then Ag Engineering Jesus said, you know what? If that's the highlight of camp, it's going to be a long fight.
Oh man! I will say this. I've seen a few of his throws on social media. He seems to be throwing the ball pretty decent. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, we will see.
How many 3-and-outs in that first game will it take Vikings fans to get on social media?
One.
That they want him as the quarterback.
I think the Vikings will be very patient with
I do too.
Sam Darnold. I think they'll give him a fairly long leash, just because they don't want to rush McCarthy. And to be honest with you, I've seen kind of both sides of McCarthy. I've seen some social media that says he's struggled a little bit at camp, but I think the Vikings will give Darnold quite a bit of leash to play. So there aren't a lot of expectations. I mean, I know Viking fans think they're going to win the division. But I think nationally, right now, there's not a lot of expectation at the Vikings offense.
A lot of the betting odds you see have them fourth in a 4-team division.
Exactly. So I don't think there's a lot of expectation. And if the Vikings, obviously they could surprise a lot of people depending on how their defense plays and if Darnold can get this offense moving. But it's going to be a fun season just to watch because of that, because there's a lot of question marks around everything.
Oh, I disagree. Eric Stahl has signed a
Why do you disagree with that?
I just don't want to talk about it right now.
Well, okay, but that's different than disagreeing.
Well, you said it's going to be a fun season. I
think it's going to be fun to watch.
I'll go on record and disagree with that.
I think it's going to be fun to watch how things play out, is what I'm saying, because there's so many questions.
I'm fine. I'm just blowing up to blow up. That's all.
It's not like they're the heavy favorite.
No.
And the expectations are through the roof, I guess is what I'm saying.
No, I understand completely, Randy Shaver. That was just a liquor talking.
I know.
Liquor talking.
You got to slow down.
I'm trying to pace myself a little bit better. Okay. Eric Stahl.
Yes.
Do you care that he's retired from hockey?
Yeah.
Okay. 18 seasons he played in the league. He's going to sign a one deal. How does a grown person?
One-day deal.
He's going to sign a one-day Carolina Hurricane so he can go ahead and retire with that hockey club. Yeah, 18 years and played here for a while.
Yeah, amazing.
Won a cup. They're going to retire his sweater. And he's the all-timer. I mean, since the Whalers moved to Carolina.
He's the original.
I mean, he leads them in goals, assists, points, games played, power play goals, power play points, hat tricks. Eric Stahl. I liked his vibe. I liked watching him when he played for the Pigs.
Right.
I just cannot believe that 18, just like with Zachy.
Yeah.
Cannot believe that many years have gone by.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those stalls, though. Once one of them retires, another 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
They produce another 4 or 5 to take his...
right.
Is he the one that's married to Aaron Andrews?
I have no idea. Someone's married to Aaron Andrews?
It's a hockey player.
It's a hockey player. I thought it was Eric Stahl.
You talking about the ESPN sideline report?
I think you're right.
Jarrett Stahl.
Jared Stahl. Okay.
Jared? I did not know that Aaron Andrews had a husband. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Well, F me running. All right, we got to go. Brad Ryder, think twice. Think twice about this 92-degree golf outing.
Yeah.
Throw a bottle of water in the cart.
Your game's not that good. Even though you got a hole. Even though you got a hole in one.
I was say the last time I stepped out on a golf course, I had a hole in one. So.
Oh boy.
Oh, that means this is going to be the worst round of golf you've ever played.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll try to shoot a number lower than the temperature. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
Do you bring a bucket of that ball dry?
the powder?
Yeah. Nut powder?
Right in the middle of the course? Sure.
Yeah. Paste yourself up.
Yeah. Like our bro Joey Ryan, Matty Ryan, Donnie. What's the name of the pitcher for the Twins?
Ryan.
Joe Ryan.
Joe Ryan, yeah.
Good luck to you, Brad Ryder.
Thanks.
And Randy Shaver, we will talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you both very much. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Let's get into season 4, episode 21, Forever.
Is there a button we can hit that just skip
I
this
know.
one? Just
What
skip
I'm
it?
surprised about, and I don't think there's anything he could have done, but James Marshall directed this, and he's directed so many great episodes.
It's collecting the paycheck. This would have been an epic episode if somehow it was Lex Luthor's high school experience and graduation.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen. Half-Assed Morning Show 93X.
State of hockey, my ass. I'm never again going to allow Dana to help with a hockey conversation. We were talking about Jared. Well, we talked about the retirement of Eric Stahl. And then Brad Ryder said, isn't his brother or isn't Eric Stahl the one who married Aaron Andrews? And I said, Aaron? And then the conclusion you guys came up with was, no, she didn't marry Eric Stahl. She married his brother, Jared Stahl. I knew there was something fishy about that. Aaron Andrews didn't mention, that isn't the word. Aaron Andrews didn't marry any of the Stahl brothers, S-T-A-H-L. She married Jarrett Stoll, who played here with the Pigs for a while. Do you remember when he played for the Pigs, Waffle?
Yeah, I do.
She married Jarrett Stoll, not a member of the Stoll. And that brings up a great story, the great Jarrett Stoll story about one of his past girlfriends. Josh remembers this. This is a story I heard. And this Jarrett Stoll is a handsome sumbitch.
Oh, yeah.
And he was living in Los Angeles at the time, playing for the Kings. And somehow he got to dating Rachel, by God, Hunter.
Man, that's awesome.
The supermodel. I mean, if Rod Stewart dated her, you've got yourself a prime female, okay? He starts dating, and then they get engaged. And then the story I heard, they were getting married in a matter of days or something. You know, planes were in the air, family coming over from England, you know, because what's her name? Rachel Hunter is from England, and Stoll dumped her via a text message.
Oh, dude, brutal. What?
And isn't he 12 years younger than her? Like, at least a decade.
Well, sure.
Dang, swordsman.
I heard he broke up with her via text.
That's the story I heard.
That's brutal.
You're about ready to get married. This isn't a gal you took to a movie. So we had to clear that up. I'm sorry that I blew up. You're a great crowd. Thanks for tuning into the Half-Ass Morning Show here. We appreciate it. If you missed our conversation earlier, we're trying to find something to keep Josh busy starting tomorrow when his old lady ups and leaves town. And she's staying away smooth through Sunday. He doesn't really know what the hell to do with himself. People have been texting in suggestions, drink, molest yourself to porno movies, smoke drugs, cheat. Not his style. All great suggestions.
I really appreciate you putting some effort into that, but it's just not really me.
Right. Great suggestions. That's not his jam. To smoke drugs or drink or cheat or pull on himself to a porno movie. So, Josh, what if you had the chance to begin a whole new lifelong hobby while you have this free time?
I've wanted to get a hobby.
You said that, I think, a couple of days ago.
Yeah. I don't really have any hobbies.
You bought a bicycle, but you haven't done anything on the bicycle.
Very little. I mean, I've added, well, does it count if you move your bike from one side of the garage to the other? Because then I'm going to add like 0.1742345 miles on there.
Yeah, the wheels are spinning. That counts.
That's how I look at it.
You need a hobby. Here are supposedly the best hobbies to take up in your 40s.
I could see Josh as like a woodworker, craftsman.
I don't know. I'd love to know how to do something like that. I would absolutely love to. I'm not good at that kind of thing.
I was thinking
make
more
you like a gun case or something like that.
Well, it's funny you say that. Somebody said, let's go to the gun range. That'd be fun. I've enjoyed doing that.
I could see you putting together like those little airplanes or like those little boats.
The model airplanes.
The bottles, yeah.
Cars.
Right. The best hobbies to take up in your 40s, and you are still there. You're in the final year of your 40s.
Yeah, almost done.
We're going bananas when you turn 50, right?
I don't know.
I can't remember what you said because I know I've brought this up before. When you turn 50, all bets are off. We're going to have a party.
Yeah, I don't need anything like that.
Like some folks are going to die. Some folks won't make it through your party. Best hobbies to take up in your 40s. I find a lot of these to be terrible ideas. But it's not up to me. You tell me what you're thinking, Josh.
Well, Adam pisses me off, Jesus. He gave me a whole list of things I could do, and I do have like a list of things I want to get done. I haven't had a chance to totally proofread this, but I'll go through what he suggested I do while my wife's out of town.
All right.
Adam pisses me off. Jesus said, when the wife is gone, you could clean the garage, do an epoxy garage floor, throw out old food in the freezer, try the hang and whack, build a tote storage cabinet for the garage, try a butt plug, prune the trees, clean out the gutters, binge watch Vikings. So many things to do. I'll have to reread that to go through some of the highlights, but that all sounds fun.
I think in the middle he had some good nuggets.
Says here, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but if you're over 40, you're not an old dog anymore. Used to be, not anymore. 40's the new whatever, 30. There's never been a better time to pick up a new hobby than early middle age. All right, let me run a few of these by my life partner, Josh, and see if maybe a new hobby might spring out of this glorious wife-free weekend. Become an astronomy buff.
Well, I'd love to see the northern lights, but that's about it.
You don't want to try to up your celestial knowledge?
Not at all. I'll tell you, I took a astronomy class, and that was not easy. I didn't retain much information.
It's a lot harder than being like, oh yeah, that looks like the Little Dipper up there.
I was even warned.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you know what's going to happen if you dump a telescope on the roofs of any of our houses. We're going to forget about the Milky Way. We're going to start spying on neighbors.
Oh, duh. That's fun.
Next thing you know, you're in handcuffs. Birding. Otherwise known as bird watching.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Give me a friggin' break. I'll kick your ass if you ever get involved in bird watching. Now, here's something totally dorky in my opinion, but you guys borderline masturbate whenever we talk about stuff like this. I don't get it. Becoming a master griller.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That'd be fun.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
It says here, don't just barbecue, become a true grill master. Learn how to grill the perfect steak or ultimate burger. In my opinion, this is what restaurants are for. Maybe you even get a smoker. I don't know about the rest of you,
that's
but
what I want.
if I hear one more story at the bar about what somebody did with their smoker, I think I'm going to end up karate chopping someone in the throat.
Oh, I'm going to see a buddy this weekend that I know will be telling me stories about his Traeger. He's always got something to say about it. I'll try anything twice, Jesus. He said, if I do become an astronomy buff, he wants me to, quote, please punch yourself in the face. And he also said, if you don't stay inside, watch some shows, grab Chipotle, and maybe venture to Shields or Fleet Farm as long as you're home by 6 p.m., I don't even know you. Yeah, that's about right.
That sounds like your exact agenda.
Yeah, I'd be interested in all that.
Like I said, I found a lot of these ideas to be just terrible.
Yeah, there's, the grilling, that appeals to me.
Well, right.
And the woodworking, or was that, I forgot if that was a Wapple thing.
That was a Wapple thing. I found them to be terrible ideas. You might not, but I'm just trying to set up the next supposedly perfect hobby for folks over 40. This just is so dorky, my stomach hurts. Leather work.
Oh, boy.
Instead of taking those worn-out shoes to the repair shop, how about the garbage can? Is my first question. If you got a pair of worn-out shoes, what do you throw them in the garbage? Instead of taking them to the repair shop, learn how to do some basic leather work yourself.
Nah.
You could add cool details to a belt that you've had lying around. This reminds me of a set of brothers that I've known my entire life. They would love everything on this list. They just love all of that dorky stuff, fixing their own pants and all stuff like that. Become a Photoshop master.
Josh could be very good at that.
I don't know. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, but you're good with computers and all that stuff.
Yeah, it seems to me like there's some talents there that I don't possess.
Are you a decent swimmer?
No. I like we were talking about this just the other day. I don't even remember the last time I swam.
Right, we did discuss that just a couple days ago. Well, then maybe don't get in a canoe.
I do like getting in the canoe every once in a while, though.
Maybe don't get on a stand-up paddleboard.
No.
Those are sketchy.
Not interested.
I see a lot of them on the lake.
They're everywhere.
But don't we all agree that when I see someone on a paddleboard on the lake, that is likely the one and only time they will use it?
I often feel that way when somebody buys a paddleboard.
I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen someone on a paddleboard on the lake and said, oh, I recognize them from last time. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
Everybody tries it once, and then it never leaves their garage ever again.
There's that paddleboarder again.
My wife did paddleboard yoga at a local lake in Egan.
That sounds hard.
I encountered that once on the lake.
You saw that?
Yes, I'm cruising into Wayzata Bay, and from a distance, it looked like dead bodies floating on the water. And I said to my friggin' wife, I said, well, what the hell? Was there an accident or something? But as I got closer, there were yoga nerds lying flat on their backs on their paddle boards. And I thought to myself, boy, that looks stupid. And also, that's really dangerous. There's nothing but morons racing around the bay, and I mean, they were difficult to see. So I thought, this is not the lake for that. Someone's going to get an IO across the aorta and bleed out in the lake. Don't be laying on your back paddleboarding on a busy lake. That looked dangerous to me.
Remember when our former coworker and friend, she got paddleboards, and we're like, and it seems like something you're going to use once and never use again. She's like, no, this is going to be our new thing, and she used them once and never used them again. She was mad at us that we even mentioned that it might be a one-time only thing.
And then she even bought the rack and everything.
Oh, she went all in.
Oh my gosh, no.
She went all in.
All right, I've encountered one here that does sound really cool for a hobby for someone in their 40s, any age, but in this case, we're talking about Josh, and he's over 40. Restoring a classic car. That would be beautiful.
That's on my bucket list.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of money, too.
I don't know how to do it, but yeah, that I saw. I was walking with my stepson and his girlfriend and the dog a couple months ago. They live in St. Paul, and there was a really old Corvette. I mean, this thing was just complete garbage. And I thought, man, I wish I knew how to fix something like that up.
That sounds cool. Okay, archery, no, please don't do that.
I don't have the strength to pull the bow back.
How about pick up a side hustle hobby? Consider dabbling in real estate.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, no.
Oh, that's something else, Joshua. As much as I love you, I'd end up strangling you unconscious if I find out you're selling houses on the side.
That's not for me.
Bowling, beautiful idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Beautiful idea. They suggest, okay, you can go out once a month or join a league. I've never joined a bowling league. I've always wanted to, never had the time, and also it's tough to get enough people to commit to it. But there's a big difference between casually bowling and joining a league. The leagues that I know of, it's a 7-month commitment. It's not easy. But bowling, I love it. It's one of my favorite sports.
I was thinking a couple weeks ago, I was telling my wife, I'm like, you know what? I should see if some guys want to just do a cover band. I mean, we'll never play out anywhere, but we could just kind of jam.
Jamming.
And then I quickly realized, ain't nobody got time for that. But it would be kind of fun.
It is tough to find the time for things like that. You sit down and you know.
Everybody lives all over the place.
What does that mean to live all over the place? Oh, I thought that was like a... God, I need to put down the hard drugs. I thought that was a code word. Everyone's living all over the place, like LOLing or YOLO. You just literally meant... some of these hobbies for folks over 40 I've never heard of. Learn to pick a lock as a hobby.
Oh.
That would be sweet to know how to do that.
And, of course, they don't recommend you use it for criminal purposes. You can acquire a lock-picking set on Amazon to get a handle on the basics. Before you know it, you're working your way up to something more sophisticated. I don't know. I think the temptation would be too great.
Well, you'd want to use it, right?
You'd want to use it on your neighbor's front door after a while.
Like if you become proficient in the martial arts, and I get real good at karate or something like that, I'd want to use it.
Looking for hobbies for Josh. Chess, please say no.
I like chess. I'm just not very good at it.
Write a book?
No thanks.
Oh, God. This is tough to even say out loud. Become a whiskey aficionado. I think we've all had enough of the drink snobs, haven't we?
Oh, yes. Big time.
And in the same breath, pick up a homebrew hobby.
Oh, no. Those are the worst.
Is that not as... That was so big for a while. I don't hear about folks doing that much anymore.
It's not really anymore, because especially once COVID kind of simmered down and people could go outside. They're like, yeah, this stuff sucks.
Yeah. It went to smoking. That's what happened. They went
smoking
to
cigarettes?
No, smoking meats and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I suppose you do hear...
yeah, there's a lot of crossover.
You hear more about that. I remember when Champs, the old restaurant Champs.
Love that place.
And they had the Around the World Beer Club or whatever it was. Wasn't that Champs? Or was that Old Chicago? Old Chicago. Old Chicago had that, and I had a couple friends that they were obsessed. They wanted to drink all the beers from around the world.
Oh, God.
Get all the stamps in their passport.
Just talking about this stuff, my blood pressure is on the rise. Of course, the bonus to when you brew your own beer is when it's ready, you have a party. And like Ashley said, you'd be lucky if anybody can stand it. You'd be lucky if anyone can stand it.
I thought of one along those lines that might be kind of fun to start. Making pickles.
Oh,
Wapple does that.
I do that all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Pickling was in this report on hobbies for folks over 40, and I deleted it because I didn't think it would be worth a pump. Pickling vegetables and things like that?
Just pickles for me.
Dude, beans, green beans, dilly beans. Ooh.
I don't want to.
Asparagus, you can make good money on pickled asparagus.
Can I just do pickled cucumbers?
I don't know.
We'll try to
take some, Josh.
We'll try to make a breakthrough here when we come back on the program.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text REST, REST, REST to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win premium seats to Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant will take place Monday, August 12th at Target Center. These tickets are furnished by Live Nation. This keyword is good today, July 31st until midnight. Good luck.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, we're going to close this out with more suggestions for a brand new hobby for Josh. Or anyone who's interested, of course, but we were specifically talking about Josh. He's got a weekend to himself coming up. We're trying to find something for the sumbitch to do. Some of these hobbies now might require some research because I didn't quite have the time to look into the legitimacy or any further details. Who's the best with the Google machine where you can just rap onto the keyboard? Who's the best?
I feel like we're all pretty proficient.
Well, someone volunteer.
I'll do it.
All right. Look this stuff
Great.
up.
The guy that's the worst at it.
Is he?
Actually, I was gonna say Dana's probably the best at it.
All right, don't bother with this one because I believe this is a real thing. Josh, your lifelong hobby, which will start this weekend, beetle fighting and beetle collection.
I'd like to watch that, but I'm not going to touch them.
You don't want to be handling. You don't like bugs.
No, not at all.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But I would watch that, especially if they were like in little Viking helmets and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God, that would be incredible. Look this one up, Dana.
Yeah.
Is this a real thing? Extreme ironing?
Oh, yeah, that is.
I've seen that before.
I've seen videos of that.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. What do they do?
They take like an ironing board and an iron, and then they go on top of like rocks or crazy places, and they iron.
This guy's surfing while ironing.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're friggin' serious.
I think I saw this on the Ocho once, that
I think I
ESPN
did
thing they
too.
do where they do weird random sports. This guy's doing it on top of a mountain.
Oh, that's why it rings a bell. Maybe we talked about it when we covered that stupid Ocho thing.
Yeah, we did.
I like dinking around with audio stuff, but that's not necessarily a new hobby.
No,
I want something different than that.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
too close to work, too.
I do love it. I mean, I spend a lot of time doing it, but
I was lucky enough to have experience with this next hobby when I was a little kid. Duck herding.
Did you really?
Yeah, well, I had ducks as a little kid, and we would herd them from one spot to another when they were little ducklings.
Is that
Absolutely.
difficult?
No, they actually, the word I'm missing here is bond to you quite quickly and make the assumption, I guess, that you are their mother, and they'll follow you anywhere because we got them when they were just tiny little ducklings. Ghost hunting, please don't get. That's the stupidest thing in the whole world.
You know what? And I know this is probably going to piss you off, maybe other people as well. And this is not just related to the movie Twisters, but that reinvigorated me. I kind of think storm chasing would be cool.
I think that would be fun.
Oh, I thought you were going to lay into me about that.
No.
I thought...
No,
to me, that's... There's something about that. You're into the Ecto-1 or whatever you call your cool little storm-chasing vehicle.
Yeah.
No, the Twister movies are dog feces, but the idea of actually chasing a tornado around, that does sound like fun to me.
Well, how many times do you go outside in your driveway when the sirens are going off and you're just looking up in the sky?
As they recommend, every single time.
Every single, you can't not do it.
Yep.
Sweaty Balls Jesus recommends I should give organ harvesting a try. Oh, yeah, I never considered something like that.
Well, I mean, that combines side hustle with a new hobby, like we talked about earlier. Make some cash on the side, selling organs in Tijuana.
All right, I don't think it's been that long since we covered dumpster diving. People jump into dumpsters and try to find treasures. You know, I'm familiar with that. But yeah, this is one where you have to look it up, Dana, and tell me if this is a legitimate thing. Javelin catching? Is that a joke? Because honestly, that's insane.
Yeah, I guess it is an actual sport.
What? And some bitches
catching.
They throw the real deal javelin, and you try to catch it with your hands with a. Get back to us on this.
Yeah, I'm seeing videos of it right now.
Somebody recommends I try a glory hole. Well, which end? I'm interested in both, but where should I start?
I don't know. Give both a try. See what you like better.
So they're catching the javelins with their hands?
I'm watching the video right now. I think that's what it looks like, yes.
We have a ghost hunter in the listening audience, Ghost Hunter Jesus. He says he travels the country, and it's an absolute blast.
Oh, stop it.
Have you found a ghost?
This one really cracked me up. The idea of you anyone getting involved in this. Learning fictional languages. What's the first thing you picture?
Klingon.
Some dork speaking Klingon. That strikes me as funny. Not that I want you to get involved in that, because let's say it becomes your first language. I think I would go crazy. But that sounds fun. Oh, this is great from a listener. Listener says, hey, we're missing out on the number one hobby in America these days, suing people. Just go around suing everybody. Is this a real hobby? And what does it mean? I know it's a title to a movie, but never saw it. Train spotting?
What? Oh, I barely remember. That was just a drug thing.
That was a drug movie.
But are they talking about actually just watching trains? I know people are into that.
That must be it.
You go around and watch trains go by?
I just don't know. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's basically it. You just watch out for trains.
What do you mean watch out for them?
Yeah, train spotting, it just involves watching trains and collecting sightings of them.
We were just talking
taking
about
pictures of them and all that stuff.
We were just talking about that kid a couple days ago he's a train enthusiast, loves watching it, and then he derailed one so he could film it, and he could be the guy, the hero that turned it into the cops, and then he could get clicks on his social media.
Shame.
Oh, listener texted in and said, volunteer, you selfish prick.
Hey, I am.
Oh.
Hey, we're starting the weekend with some volunteering. Yeah, so suck it.
Who's volunteering?
You
Where?
can suck it. We're going to be volunteering doing some Second Harvest Heartland.
Yeah, we are.
Who?
Me and Josh.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, well, you guys were all invited, but I know you're too charitable, and you got to take a break from all the other volunteering you guys all do.
I'm just a straight up bad person.
Well, no one was under the impression you were going to show up.
That's where a couple of you, Josh and Wapple, are going to be, what is this? Go ahead, pimp this deal.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you pimp it. I mean, anybody, Second Harvest Heartland, if you can go to their website, and if you want to volunteer, you pack meals for folks that need it. It's, and you feel good, and it's actually a good time. You get, I like to try and set a record, right? I want them to be like, wow, that's the best worker we've ever had.
We got to get Pitney back in here.
Yeah.
What got you drawn into this? Just you felt like volunteer?
The company likes to volunteer and do some stuff, so they asked, hey, whoever would like to do this, let's do it.
Right on. Real quick before we go, one of the hobbies we covered, what did we talk about? What led us to talk about the old Chicago beer tour? What got us there?
Home brewing. And I
right.
mentioned, close to that. I remember that before the home brewing thing. I just remember those beer tours being super popular.
You're right. I had a few friends, total dorks, who got involved in the beer tour. I do miss old Chicago. There used to be one in my neighborhood, and it went away, and I missed that friggin' place. I liked it a lot. Jerry the King Lawler is the one true King Jesus. Texted in to say he is a five-time old Chicago beer tour finisher.
That's cool.
Sucker! 5 times he went around that pit.
How many beers are in that then?
There's a lot.
Don't know. Is it just one per country? Or, Germany's got a lot of beers. America's got a lot of beers.
I think they have one for every tap they have there, and they have a lot of taps.
I don't know. It's like 110 beers.
Woo-wee.
Holy cow.
That's a lot of beer.
That'll take a weekend.
Kidney Stone Jesus said if you're into trains, apparently there's some good train vids on Pornhub.
Oh.
Well, I'll have to Google that.
We'll do some research and get back to you.
Choo-choo. This heartwarming text says, can I get a happy birthday to my awesome twin daughters turning 26 today from Liquor Hole Off-Road Jesus, and to the entirety of the Brotherhood and Sisterhood. Thanks so much for listening today, and have a wonderful Wednesday.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.